Hello.
Okay.
Never fucking.
Hello.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm guessing you guys are doing your level up. Hello, good to see ya. Welcome out. We're only half our group here today. Half the players.
Feels weird.
The others are in the Feywild, but we do have.
Do you want to see me roll my HP for level up?
Sure, I guessed with the rotational art that we're gonna have because I was like, oh god, he's
You're
asleep.
just gonna take whatever he gave you,
dude. So yeah, you do it.
Was it 1d10 plus con?
Yeah.
Or 1d8?
1d8. So
1d8.
you're a warlock.
Slash roll 1d8 plus 3. Oh baby.
Sick.
Okay, chat on the rotational art. He rolled an 8 plus the 3. Add in 3 extra. Okay, I guess you'd get a 5. So you just add in 3 extra. 93 HP, I believe you got. Well, we do have 3 guest stars hiding in the wings for when they get revealed very soon into the episode. 3 new players to our table, but not new to D&D. It's gonna be a fun one. If you do know who they are, don't spoil it yet. It'll get spoiled soon. So. Hold off. But before we do get started with D&D, does anyone have anything they want to shout out? Anything they want to announce? All that good stuff?
Kidding.
Okay, sorry. Yep, okay. We're just going to play Dungeons & Dragons. Then I would ask, who would like to do the recap? There's only 3 of you, so I'm going to let you guys pick 2 versus 1.
I think you should do it because the new people coming in,
I think it's
they
so
want to get a
important
feel
that
for your
Joe does it.
DMing. And what you're bringing to the table.
Let's
warm them up. Let's bring them in.
The world the way you have.
Yeah,
You know
let's
what I
bring them into some world building. Let's get you to do it. Maybe a little bit extra on the top, kind of summarize
And if
what's
that's
happening
not
thus far, the
okay,
world.
one of the other 2, because I did.
And if you don't want to do that, then I vote OGs.
No, OG, have you got anything to say on this?
I'm an independent woman who just doesn't have the energy to try to stand against the tide that is a toxic Sunday.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hey, you know,
I just,
you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to do that labor.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Well, okay, then I will do the labor. I'll carry this burden. Well,
so based.
I'll give you a greater overview. Welcome to the Shadowfell, a plane that envelops the material plane, and in particular, the continent of Hyloma. A continent where a party now known as the Six have been pursuing vaults. Vaults that contain potentially the Sun Children, these almost godlike angelic figures, which have held back the darkness of eldritch and old gods for some time. Maybe some of the only mortals too discover these vaults. You have pursued one after another, trying to find the secrets of the world to prevent an oncoming apocalypse. So, recently you have arrived in the town of Warmsteps, and in such a town, you've learned there's a vault nearby. Your intention to get into the Vault of Design has led you to battles against a herald, fighting your way through secrets of commerce within the guilds of the Bear Progress. And you recently, after defeating that herald, learned of how to get inside the vault. That there was 2 duplicate vaults, one in the Shadowfell, one in the Feywild, and both must be activated simultaneously to open the doors to the original Material Plane 1. The gnome who gave you the task, who told you about how to do this, did not journey with you, but told you both that his plans was to go alongside a group called the Taskers Guild of Travels to both the Shadowfell and Feywild, hired muscle waiting on both sides, and do it from there. But you have undergone this task yourselves. You split the 6 into 2 groups of 3, and Carlisle, a medic, a healer, a doctor, Morgaine, a knight of the Dreadvault, and Indrassa, a wizard who studies reality magic, has stepped through into the Shadowfell, with intention to meet the 3 hired muscle waiting in the town of Ashburn. Splitting from the party, you enter into the Shadowfell. And it is when you arrive there, you immediately feel the stale air it feels a permanent darkness surrounding you. You've arrived on a teleportation circle, which is surrounded by a small palisade wall. And in front of it, a small kind of almost watcher's post, where a lantern is held hanging, illuminating the teleportation circle. Almost like the other side is being guarded. And you see a watchman who is wearing the Guild of Vast Distances. He's kind of wearing their little, almost like brooch on his shoulder. Is sat huddled up with a cloak over his shoulders, warm fur to hold back any cold. But there's no breeze. There's no strong air here to kind of push back or kind of freeze the temperature. It is just a fog. A very shallow fog that attacks at your ankles more so than actually reaches higher. And it chills you. This darkened land is one that you've not been to before, but you've heard much about. You see the guard sat inside his watcher's post, and he looks as he sees the runes of the teleportation circle light up, and he kind of reaches across, pulls out a smaller lantern, hangs it outside the window, and looks across. You'd see a human, probably in his late 20s, though his face kind of does depict someone who's probably later in their 30s, kind of wispy grey beard, kind of growing into the brown that's there. And he kind of leans across. Oh, we weren't expecting anyone through. All right. What's your business?
Oh, hey there. We are just traveling on through to the tavern for now.
Oh, you're heading down to Ashburn? Carry on the road that way. You'll be fine. Stay on the road. Is it your first time in the Shadowfell?
Yes.
Don't stray off the road.
Right.
Wonderful.
Thank you, dear.
You see the paved cobblestone road. When you step onto it, Morgan, you can see it lit up. It's almost slightly shimmering with magic. And it's kind of got this almost vibrational feel to it. You can feel it kind of at the bottom of your feet. Each of the stones.
What color is it?
It's probably like an orange, I believe transmutation is. Around that, yeah.
Okay.
Very shimmering, slight orange. And you can see it kind of shimmers, it vibrates. All along are a series of these kind of lampposts every about 10 or 15 feet. And the light illuminates inwards. He looks at you all. The lanterns lead all the way down to Ashburn. If you leave the road, you won't be able to find the road again. Stay on it. Stay on the path. The lights only work on the road.
Okay.
Welcome to the Shadowfell. And he kind of wraps himself up again. You can see he kind of opens up his book, puts a paperweight in there, and continues reading.
I think before we walk out, Indrasa stares at the teleportation circle to memorize it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's hundreds of intricate patterns and runes, but yeah, that's how your mind works for keen mind. Sure.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Yes. Tavern.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Suppose there's not much option to dilly-dally with the threat of imminent doom if we step off the path.
True. All right. Well, let's head out then. Starts heading out.
And when you do, you will... Yeah?
I was just gonna like have a conversation, just be like, do you think they really mean if you step off the path at all, you're gonna die, or is it kind of like
we're not really on a path?
What are we on, dear?
I say this because it's a road I can see, which means it's not a road at all. Transmutation.
Yeah. Would you like
I
to
was
do?
gonna ask, can Carlisle like perception, like not step off the path, but like try to look off like the route
You can
and see
like lean off?
Can he see anything? Yeah, like lean a little bit while staying fully like on
Yeah.
the path.
Yeah. Give me a perception check. Also, I'll let you do one for hearing if you like as well. Hearing is
24 for seeing, and I can do another one for hearing.
sure.
2 24s.
2 24s. Okay. So seeing, first of all, you'd lean across and you look out and you can see... It's like being out at nighttime. Though there are kind of no stars in the sky to light things up, so it feels like a darker night. When you lean out and you can look across, you can see trees, you can see woodlands, you can see mountains in the distance. Occasionally you will see things shifting and running about, animals that live out here, or even creatures just wandering. It does feel like you're out at night. But when you look back, when you're about to lean, you would notice when you've leant across far from the lanterns that the road has just disappeared. That the road is only seen when you're on it. And if you were to step off of the road, you wouldn't be able to find your way back onto it. So it's almost like it's this illuminated path that only you can see whilst you're on it. Hides it from outside people.
I see.
Hearing-wise, you can also hear that the sound, when you kind of lean off of it as well, there's almost this kind of magical effect that is suppressed whilst you're walking on it, but it's a little bit louder when you lean off. And you can hear this like almost like fan like vibrating sound, and you can see the stones are shimmering. It's almost like a deterrent. The road itself deters things from coming towards it.
Huh. Well, that is a fancy road.
Andrasa takes out her notebook and just kind of starts writing down.
Okay.
Another project of things on Andrasa's
Right.
list of like 50 different things.
I don't know when you're going to
they're
get around to
trying
build this road, but
Like,
sure.
Idea of
one
a
these
magical
pieces of paper is
road.
done.
How useful would that be? Nobody could see it except for you when you're on it. Just kind of talking to herself.
You wander the road for the better part of probably closing on an hour. You can hear the various sounds and shouts and screams come off it. You can hear the mortal of undead and even creatures hunting. You can kind of get this almost darker atmosphere, like the nocturnal elements of the Shadowfell coming to life. But eventually, you start seeing a woodland coming to distance. And the lanterns start stopping. They cut off, maybe a good 100 feet, 200 feet out from this town that is embedded into a woodland. You can see palisade walls wrapping around it. You can see it's all lit up with torchlight all across the walls. The buildings inside 2 stories each for the most part. And it seems like a pretty well-established, quite tight-knit, dense town, populated. As you wander in closer, you can see that you're no longer on the road. You start walking on normal cobble steps. As you get closer to the town, wandering in on their western gate, you can see outside, stood there, outside the kind of great kind of almost gate. I say great gate, it's not even that big. It's kind of this wooden, heavy oaken kind of gate on the outside, oval, closed right now, these 2 great doors. And you would see the people who are kind of out on the outside, the entrance, are polished stone-like skin. No mouths, they've got eyes, but their eyes almost like marbled on the inside, kind of almost like they've been created into it. It's almost like these moving statues. But they wear a chainmail. They haven't got wings like a gargoyle, but they have almost the same structure as one. They wear a chainmail, and you see they have tabards on the left side of their kind of their garments. It kind of wraps around their left arms. And you see a symbol of a finger with a long fingernail dripping blood down it. They stand there with great kind of long bardishes, these like great tall, long pole-like axes, and they wait on the outside the doors. As you kind of close in, you'd hear one of their mouths vibrate. And it says, "Welcome to Ashburn. Lord Sean permits you entry. You are expected to show grace and decorum. Be well." And the door opens up. And the town ahead is lit up with people wandering around, keeping to themselves. It feels like that kind of when dusk first hits in a town back home. That idea that everyone is kind of cloaked up, warm in their kind of almost furs and their larger cloaks, keeping their hoods up or their hats on, wandering around each other, avoiding going into various houses where they might live or where they might shop and whatnot. But there seems to be kind of a general day-by-day vibe in here. But you would be able to enter the town of Ashburn.
Well, how we feeling about swinging straight to that there tavern and getting situated from there?
I think that makes most sense, dear. Sort of looks at buildings. Which one do you think is the tavern? Is there a sign anywhere? Can we see it?
Which one's the noisiest?
Yeah, so you would be able to see some signs nearby, but mostly it's a lot of posters, a lot of kind of pamphlets that have been kind of pushed against walls on these kind of almost bricken walls. Most of the buildings here are built of this grey stone. You can see a series of these posters put on the wall here. Immediately, you would see one that says "Gravestones, Precious Purchases," and it has like a kind of this undead hand holding out a diamond. You'd see one that says "Consider donating your blood at the blood bank today," with another one that's posted over it saying "Humans fear us. Change your diet today," with like an image of a scared human like being shadowed over. You'd also see the displaced tavern with kind of a location drawn out on the town. And you'd also see a town map, which I can move you guys to now.
Yay!
I'm gonna wait to show chat this because I don't know if I show the other screen if it will show everyone else who's hiding on camera. So I'll show chat this in a second once we've everyone. But this is the town of Ashburn.
Cool. Wow.
Don't do that. And you see a couple other shops and whatnot advertised, but you would see on the key for this one, number 2 is the tavern, the displaced tavern.
Okay, cool.
You want me to show chat with a screenshot?
You can if you like. They'll see it in 5 minutes.
There you go for the nosy
there's
ones.
a timer. Okay, yeah, I guess. Wait, what side are we coming in from?
The western gate.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's head over.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be passing through the town.
We came through the clearing of trees?
Yes, yeah, on the western side. You'd see you walk past those trees. The trees are just kind of tall pines. You'd pass your way through. Walking through the town, you can hear the kind of bustling nature of it. It's got a good 1,000+ people that live here. So it's kind of a pretty decent sized town, especially for the Shadowfell. And you'd be wandering around until you eventually see this one building that almost looks like it's tilted from the outside, like it's been dropped from the sky and buried in. And it has the sign, the Displaced Tavern, which shows a displacer beast that kind of shimmers in and out, walking around a kind of a tankard that kind of shakes on the front of its signpost. The glass on the outside, which is on both floors, which you can see it's a 3-floor tavern, 3 stories. It hurts your eyes to look at. It looks blurry, almost like you're looking at an optical illusion when you look at the glass. It like shimmers every time you look at it. But you would see that the Displaced Tavern slightly tilted, the entrance right ahead of you.
Goes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if we've got any tavern music. I do have a little...
How busy is this tavern?
Pretty bustling, yeah. You would see that most people come in here. As you're kind of first wandering in, you'd notice that it's got a very comfortable vibe. The first thing you'd realize when you step inside of the tavern is it almost looks bubbled from the inside. Each of the glasses that looked optical on the outside is actually stretched outward. They're almost these like horseshoe-shaped inlets with rounded tables and painted glass that go in, and they go for dozens around on both sides and on the second floor as well. Almost kind of these little pocket areas which you can go and kind of book a table in.
Like a flower.
Yeah. It's almost the kind of these seating arrangements where you can kind of go and sit around with like glass all around you, shimmering on the outside because of the kind of optical illusion nature of it. You would see the bar in the center is kind of got this deep gnome who's wandering around serving drinks. There's several bartenders. This definitely seems like the busiest place in town. Good, like probably a couple hundred people already in here bustling, taking all the tables. A lot of busy room. And you would see as they've got like in rooms up the top as well, which people are passing in and out of, merchants or travelers. And you realize you're in a pretty dense and occupied tavern.
How's the vibe? Like, did it become audibly more quiet when we came in, or are they used to people coming and going?
They would be used to people coming and going, but not. This is kind of Ashburn is considered kind of a outskirt Shadowfell town in terms of it's right next to a teleportation circle. They're expecting people, but there's also a little bit too busy, and it also seems like people mostly keep to themselves outside of the tavern. So it's almost like there's a comfortable vibe when you go in here. You actually feel more welcome when you step into the tavern than when you're outside. So yeah, you're wandering into here. Now, do you remember what you had to do?
Yeah.
Will any of us remember what we had to do?
Well, of course. Table 6. She just sort of
I'm so glad you came, Androssa.
looks around. She's just like, We need forged tea to drop a... Excuse me.
I would struggle at finding table 6, is what I mean.
Yeah, you're the remembering person. I'm the seeing and hearing person, and Morgane's
There we are.
seeing stuff we can't see person.
There I am.
All right. Well, she's just sort of looking for like a barmaid or somebody to ask.
You see
where
this
table
orcish
6
woman.
is.
She kind of leans across on the front of the table when you say excuse me and goes. You can see she's got almost like a palish grey skin to her. Yes?
Hello, dear. Table 6, please, and thank you.
You can sit there once the occupant is done eating. And you can see over towards table 6, which is to the left of you. There's a turtle who's just slowly eating a bowl of soup.
I'd like some forged tea with a drop of blood to that table as quick as you can, dear.
Ah. And then she puts the cloth down, walks around, goes over to them, leans across into the person's ear, and he goes. And you can see this having a conversation. He's kind of complaining. And he gets up, picks up his bowl, and he moves to a different table. And she walks in and goes, "Your table is ready." Hello, you can sit.
Thank you. Imperiously swirls around and sits down at table.
Well, this is nice.
Yes, there's quite a... I didn't expect there to be this many people. It's quite a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what I was expecting from the Shadowfell, because, I mean, only really heard about it in what our small little encounter with the themes of it in that
Oh.
cave monastery.
Busy is good, though, right? We don't draw attention.
Yeah.
Yes, no, I think it is good, but I suppose it makes it a little bit harder to know who... Well, they'll know table 6. I don't know what I'm worried about. Should be fine.
I'm starving. I don't know about you.
All right, well...
I hope none of them are characters like Ballbiter is, though. I don't know if we can... I'm worried about going to a vault with folk like
If there
Ballbiter.
is another bullbiter that we are scheduled to meet, I will get up and walk back to that teleportation circle and go home.
I feel like having mastered, V's lack of social etiquette, it really doesn't matter who we meet.
As you call to order food, and you would kind of bring over a bartender, and we'll get on to what food you order in a second. It is over the course, you have first of all, you have someone come over and sit at your table. Whilst you're kind of ordering different foods and whatnot. What would you order actually before we move on to this? Are you looking for soups, stews, breads, fruits? What's on the agenda? Or just
A hearty
drinks?
stew sounds good. I mean,
Yeah, it's like
we
cold
got a
and
big
stale
trip
here,
coming
right?
up. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is gonna be a journey. So I think Carlisle would want to eat.
The stew that they serve you here, you would see it is it's called a spiderweb stew. It is boiled spiders, like giant spiders, with kind of almost this like creamy texture to it. It comes out very kind of lightish brown.
Cream of spider.
And you'd see that they serve it with 2 spider legs, smaller ends, with a spider silk in between as like a floss for all of the kind of meaty portions of it. And you see it kind of all gets served in front of you. They pour out ales for the table as well, and you can all this kind of dark, hearty stouts.
Excuse me, is there a mulled wine or anything instead of a stout?
Give me an insight check, Andrasa.
Sure. Ugh, 11.
You would see them look at you, look funny from and going, "You are from the material plane? You mean a grape-based wine, yes?"
Yes.
Very well, we have a bottle. And then heads off to find...
Morgane will reach over and take Andrasa's stout and just add it next to her.
Nice. Someone comes and sits at your table, and they sit right at the end, and you see them kind of pull their tunic in front of them, wrap their cloak around, and the person you see at your table is this kind of very finely sharp chiseled chin elf with long whitish to like blonde hair. You can see almost like very perfect, but their eyes are missing any color, just pale as kind of almost just a washed white. And they sit at your table quietly, and they place their hands on the lap.
Morgaine would, in the process of moving the stout, then move it again. Like, you're lucky I haven't sipped that one.
This one does not drink. This
Well,
one
for me, she'll take it back.
is your contact here. You are taller than I thought one of you would be.
Oh,
Which one?
right. We were
I'm not
here on
sure.
behalf of the designer. Yeah.
Ah,
Pretty hard to be in two places at once, isn't it?
this one has had the duty of collecting 3 capable souls to join you on your conquest. They are to arrive very shortly. This one will aid you, as is paid. And just sits there quietly and just waits.
Are you sure you don't want to eat, or...?
This one does not have a functional body.
Oh.
Convenient and yet inconvenient.
This one does not find it inconvenient, as this one does not miss food nor water nor the taste of anything.
Well, forgive me for eating in front of you, but this one is starving.
This one understands, and just kind of folds their hands in front of them and waits. And over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, several people enter the room. We will now reveal them all at the same time, but we'll allow them to introduce their characters and how they come in one by one. So allow me to introduce you to our guests, starting off with Crumpet.
Hey!
Hello, hi.
Hello!
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
We are also joined by AiCandii.
Hello. Sorry, I haven't talked for like 20 minutes.
That's fair, yeah.
Hello.
It's also extremely early for Candy. And
Yeah.
finally, we are also joined today by one SciFri. Hello.
Hello!
Hi.
All right. Welcome in.
did it.
Finally getting you 3 in. Well, we're going to be doing a one-by-one introduction to each of your characters. So they're kind of sat there at their table eating their spider stew, sipping at their ale. Each of you has a chance to arrive. To determine who arrives first, we're going to roll some d20s. And whoever rolls the highest, you get to go first.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's get the first little roll of the day off of for you 3. If you need help with rolling anything, let me know. If you've not used much
I
roll
got a
20.
15.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Oh,
I got a 10.
A 10, my lord.
I've done it. I'm perfectly average.
I feel that.
roll 20 is loading.
It's loading. That's fine.
Oh,
That's
there
fine.
it
That's fine.
This does not bode well for my roll.
No, you're going to come in with that 20.
You got
I
it.
gotta set up the full VTuber thing for next week and not just the PNG tuber.
Just initiative, or is it like just
just
a roll?
just
20?
roll d20. We'll just take highest. Highest goes first in the description.
Damn, I can't. Okay.
That's okay.
You got it. It's fine.
Do you know the command?
God. Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I have an error message. Wait.
You can do on the left. You see
Oh.
where there's a little dice symbol on the left? You can click that as well, and you can just click the d20.
Under the ruler.
which also works.
I don't think I've ever had to manually roll it. Oh,
Oh,
that's
shit.
Oh, that 20,
did
see?
come in with the
Told you.
20.
I told you.
Oh my
So, for the first character to be introduced, we'll go with Candy.
Oh wait, hold on. That's what I was rolling. Damn it. I mean, okay, go on.
I mean, you can do Dita's choice if you like. If you want to go last, it's up to you. Oh, sorry about that.
I think we should go based on the screen orientation. I think Crumpet should go first.
Okay, sure.
did get
You
a
know,
nat
the nat 20. The nat 20 divides. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Works for me. Okay. Then, Crumpet. Do you
We
want
could
to
go
do?
first as an icebreaker as well.
True.
That's true. Crumpet. Do you want to
Yes.
describe your character and how you come in?
I'd be happy to. Okay, so at the far door of the cavern, or the tavern, I should say, it lightly opens, and there are some short, very quick footsteps that tap along the ground, but you don't see anyone there. And I assume that a few of you who are really good at perception, probably Tomato, would hear those footsteps, and then they're getting closer and closer, and you hear that tapping, and then suddenly you hear it up on the ceiling. And then I appear, and you see a small, hunched over, very finely dressed with like reds and purples, a vest, a long coat, this pale, almost balding, disgusting, wrinkled old man, very short, stout. Doesn't seem hardy though, very frail looking, with long, like a long face, big nose, and these sunken eyes staring at all of you very, very intensely. And he opens his mouth, and he's got a walker cane on the ceiling as well, looking down at you, and he goes, "Oh, hello there. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Nibbles, the vampire. I am here to aid you in your quest." And he smiles.
Game will spit out
Nice, the fucking elf. Immediately.
So good to meet you, Master Nibbles.
I'm sorry, is this one of the...
What a pleasure, Nibbles.
Why don't you have a seat, dear?
This one
With that.
introduces
Alright.
Nibbles, a very capable vampire.
"That is I!" And I slowly wobble on the ceiling, like step by step with my walker cane back to the wall, because I can't just fall to the ground. I'd probably get hurt. So I just wobble over the ceiling to the wall, back to the floor, and very slowly make my way over, going, "I'll be there in a moment. Give me a second. The walker
need
isn't what it
help.
used to be."
The elf
help
just
you
sits there
get
quietly the
down
whole
if you-
time.
I think Sestina has been like just sitting kind of attached to Indrasa, and she sort of like unblobs herself and then just really slowly like rolls down to the table, like in mimic of how slow Nibbles is coming towards us, just like whoa.
I finally reach the table and go, "I have a pleasure to join your party and help you with your quest. I'm being paid quite handsomely. So believe me when I say," and I lightly crack my knuckles and you hear like 40 different pops. "I am very, very excited to join you."
Ooh, are you a mercenary, dear?
I'm a vampire.
Right. No, you said that part. You said you were being paid quite well, though. So do you? This is the
I
kind of.
accept your payment of well. I think it will work very well. Thank you.
She just takes a drink.
Carlisle, insight check the other dude to see if we're getting scammed right now.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Yeah. You
I'd like to
definitely.
insight check for his skills, please.
I just want to know if this guy, if like this isn't like the wrong table, and we did somehow end up getting a scam.
This is table 6, dear.
Was that a 30? I should also say, by the way, I forgot to say this. The chat doesn't see the rolls, so if you read out your rolls. So you would see on his face, he doesn't seem phased at all. Like he's done the headhunting. He's confident in their ability. Whether that means they're capable or not, he believes it at the very least. But yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that's enough for me.
Then
Can I wobble over right before you introduce? Can I wobble over to Morgane and look at their plate, and I'll say, "Would you perhaps be having anything with a little bit of blood in it? I accept all types. I'm a bit of a human rights activist."
Morgane is like, to describe Morgane is like average height, but in very heavy plate. The helmet is like a half helmet, so it covers the nose and eyes, and there's a skull nailed to the front with a three-eyed skull. There are no eye holes. There is no way to possibly see in this helmet. So Morgane will look down at the bowl and then slide it gingerly to the right, and be like, "If you can find something, it's yours."
"Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I quite like the skull. The design reminds me of a man I once met. He's dead now. He had a skull just like that."
Oh, you
And
mean
I start
yes.
sifting through your food, looking for something that's bloody.
Yes, I've lost my appetite somewhat, and then she'll drink the stout instead.
the bartender would come over and go, "Nibbles, would you like pig's blood again. We've got the last batch in now. It's not the best quality,
Yes,
but
you know me too well.
it goes across and you see him kind of pour out a glass. It's got like the last driplets of it, and they kind of squeeze out this little sachet of it as well, and you can just see it comes out almost coagulated at the top. Comes over and kind of hands it across to you. They don't keep a large stash of it.
I smooth my like hair back and it's like receding really badly. And then I take the pig's blood and I sip it gingerly. I go like very long and annoyingly loud sip, and then clink it back down to the table and go, how moral of me.
You're a regular here then, dear? They know you?
Yes, I've lived in Ashburn for many years.
Excellent.
It sounds like they're very convinced.
I want to insight check that.
You can, absolutely.
That's a
19.
30. I got a 31. Is that legit?
Okay.
Holy.
Are you telling the truth? Are you, do you look like you're lying at all? What's the face?
It
read?
looks like I've really gone into my own head, and I've like thinking of all the different experiences I've had in this town for the last however many decades I've been here, like drift off like old man dementia.
Oh no,
like,
he's in a fugue.
many years.
Yeah, it's almost like you'd get
Yes.
You were looking to see if they were lying about being here for years, and you've worked out they've been here for way longer than just years. It's genuinely like a lifetime. You would a good idea, by the way, by Sam. Carlyle and Indras, can you describe your characters? What do they look like, just for the sake of our guests?
I put the images you sent us in the Discord chat.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, well that's just good.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
helpful too.
Clean, thank you. Yes. You can use that. Okay, then if we're going round in the circle, Candy, would you like to introduce your character?
Yeah, good luck following that, by the way. Just good. Holy.
Hey, have a little confidence. It's
I
really
have
here to have
confidence.
fun.
It's
It's
very
fine.
True.
Okay.
I'm just glad I'm not going next. That's
Do you want to go next? I got it at 20.
fine.
no.
Do you want to make you go
I
next?
guess
You
SciFri's
go.
going next.
Okay. Sort of in complete contrast to that experience, a very like willowy lithe figure comes into the tavern. White hair. Again, this is kind of, I will make a note because I realize how much this sounds like a VTuber. It's not. Kind of an accident that this happened this way.
You have a type. It's okay.
You gotta characters
turns
as
out I do.
tendencies, you know?
But very long white hair. On top is like this golden headpiece. Looks too large or too heavy to be something that she chose for the sake of fashion. It looks like it's sort of a piece of status, perhaps ancestral. She looks around the bar, and the reason that you notice her is because this is Shadowfell, but she still stands out in a way that is unsettling. It's like this sense of like, you kind of like something you catch out of the corner of your eye where you're like, that's not quite right. But it's hard to place what that exactly is, because for the most part, she looks human. There's like gold kind of along where veins would be. There's this golden thread almost across her skin. And then these large purple eyes, like surrounded by black, kind of pivot towards the table. Sense of duty kicks in, and she approaches like very, very demure, very mindful, kind of comes up, and she looks at the contact, the elven contact, and then to the table, and she's yeah. But at either hip is sort of the scythe chained there. So she has this kind of, looks like a priestess, but hard to say. She doesn't really say anything. She kind of just walks up to the table and she kind of looks at the contact and kind of waits to be introduced. So she's kind of just standing there.
You'd see that
We don't bite. Well, he might.
the elf.
I do.
Yes. This one would like to introduce Taran Ash, a very capable
Taran.
member.
She just like, dips her head.
Nods head. Hello, dear. Won't you sit down, please?
She just takes a seat, and she hasn't really said anything yet. She doesn't. Yeah, again, very quiet comparatively to Master Nibbles.
Are you also a mercenary, dear?
No, I'm not taking payment in the form of coin. I'm seeking a relic from the vault. Something
Oh.
I need.
Hell. Do you know it's there?
Yes. Yeah,
Have you-
it's definitely there.
Have you been in to see it there? You just
If I'd been in to see it, would I have not already obtained it?
has somebody else been in to see it? How do you know it's there, dear? What if it's not? What if you get in and there's nothing there? Well, we've been helped, so we'll be fine.
If the relic is not there, there's two meanings to that. Either my work is done, or I have much more to do.
And Drassa just nods like that makes total sense.
Nibbles also nods, but does not understand. Oh,
I hope the transportation was not too heavy on you all, and you came across successfully.
Yes, it seemed quite fine.
Yeah, well,
I mean-
much of anything.
I had a friend once, they came back without an eyebrow, so not hard to fix, but
Does that happen a lot?
I think that they just messed with the person running the transport, so they perhaps did it as a slight.
Well, that... I like that it's just the one, not both. So, draw on the other one, sort of, or.
I think they
Carlo,
just-
can you regrow an eyebrow? Do you know how to?
Well, possibly. I mean, there's certainly ways you could try to solve that. I mean, there's certainly magic for hair, is there not?
True, or like a.
I feel like
You
solving that's more of a Vanderval gimmick. Common item sitting on some shelf all dusty, to be honest.
Somewhere Vanderbilt's just mad and he doesn't know why. The hell? Yes. Well, would you like something to eat or drink, or you can see we've already ordered.
I'm just watching Master Nibbles.
Do
Hand
you know each other?
No, I meant like isn't just like describing, but like looking at Master Nibbles like
God, no.
for food. God no.
Never seen him.
I start to offer her my little cup of pig's blood. I go, "Would you like some, my lady? Perhaps I could share a spot of my delicious pig's blood. It's
No,
lightly curdled." I start like jingling the cup, like, "Ooh,
I would not deprive you of such a treat.
more for me."
No, I am satiated. I am fine.
Good, thanks.
Whilst you're all talking and sharing out your drinks and whatnot, the third and final member of the troupe would come in through the tavern. SciFri, do you want to describe your character?
Yes. So my character is a half elf with sort of pale blondish hair. However, his eyes are completely devoid of color. Instead, there is a sort of ghostly green glow that inhabits them. One of them bearing a large scar, a gash through the eye. His armor that he wears appears to be like almost like tattered and decayed over time, as like almost like a relic of a past battle. And upon his hip, he is holding a like shining emerald blade in a holster, sheathed at his side.
You would,
Yeah, I'll make my way over to the contact who brought me here, and I'll wait for him to introduce me.
He looks up. This one would like to introduce Cyrus, the final member of your group. A capable swordsman. Cyrus, these are the 3 contacts, along with the 2 others I have found. They will get you inside that vault.
I'll nod to him. I say, "Very good," and I will sit at the table. Says, I look to the group and I say, "So we seem to all be in order."
Certainly looks that way.
So, are you looking for a relic as well, dear? Inside the vault, says to Cyrus.
Yes, the vault contains many relics. If what I seek is not within the vault's confines, then a payment of coin will suffice me.
See, now what if both you were looking for the same relic?
That'd be so awkward.
Is that something we should cover now?
Do you?
Are we
I
not
would
concerned
be-
about that?
I wouldn't. We are not. I can assure you.
Okay. We went to a vault, and I'll tell you what, there was about 2 relics in there, Beth.
Yes.
Right,
That was
there were
about
not
2.
that
That's-
many.
The relic here, this one.
Yes.
Maybe less.
So it's just all right. What if it is the same relic? Will you sort of arm wrestle for it, or throw some dice, or something like that? Or is this relic so important that you will murder each other and everyone else? Just so we know what we're dealing with.
I am to believe that the saying goes, "We shall cross the bridge when we arrive there."
I hate that. I don't like how that's the...
We're not really a...
If there is a bridge, I would hope there's no running water. Otherwise, I will have to go around.
Of course.
Why?
Master
I
Nibbles...
cannot cross running water. I'm a vampire.
Oh, I just thought you were allergic to baths.
Oh, well, it's been a bit.
You're not looking for a relic, are you, Master Nibbles? Or just
Should
the
I be?
payment? Well, probably not
Lot of
the
relics.
ones that they're looking for. I would think maybe if there's a sort of extra relic lying around or something.
Well, if there's any extras, I'll be happy to take it. For the most part, I'm doing this for gold. And I will happily accept any extra gold that you perhaps are not interested in once we discover the vault.
I can assure you, I will be interested in the gold that I get. So
Perhaps I could interest you in this. And I waddle up to her and I fish around in my old coat, and there's a puff of dust as I open it to stick my rackety ratchet old hand in. And I pull out this slimy kind of damp piece of paper and I hold it in front of her very happily, big smile on my face, and you can see my 2 little rounded down fangs sticking out. Perhaps I could interest you in this pamphlet on the rights of human beings. They deserve to live too.
is there a sizable contingent here in Ashburn who suggests that they should not have the same?
I wobble a little closer to her and I seem almost haunted, and I whisper to her through a knuckled, very ashy hand, "There are other vampires here." And I look back and forth. I grin at you slyly. And they, unlike me, do not drink pig's blood.
Oh. Right. Duly noted, I suppose.
I kind of push the paper into you I want you to take it from me.
There's what looks like a puddle of ink that has it had blobbed down as you were walking to the table, and it's just sort of on the table, and it kind of scoops up into a little blobby form, and it kind of waddles over and it just takes the piece of paper and then
My eyes go wide. Whoa.
flies up onto Indrasa's shoulder. Oh, that's Sestina, dear. That's very rude. Sorry, that's Sestina.
Oh.
And she's just sort of rolling around with the piece of paper, just happily, a dumb ink blob, just rolling
Kinda
around with a piece of paper.
Smack my lips in response. I'm very goopy. I like her.
She bounces up and down. Okay, so I suppose looks at contact. We all If we're all going into this vault for different reasons, is this going to make this more complex.
This one does not believe so. Your reasons might be all different or the same. It does not matter. The vault itself is still occupied by one group. However you deal with this is up to you. I have garnered some
What group?
information. The Watchers of the Fog. They are cult-like in their very demeanor. They are a group that worships a creature that has overtaken the vault recently.
Wonderful.
What kind of creature?
Hard to say. A creature from the Fog Sea. Hence its name, the Fog Beast. It is a creature that is, if you do not know the Fog Sea is a great sea of fog which sailors travel onto and drift through. It goes for many miles northwest of here. This creature came from the fog, and the Watchers of the Fog once were fishermen that used to travel in the fog and since have become idolized. They have traded with this town for some time. Ashburn has had dealings with them. They are currently the occupants of the vault. If you are to go inside, you have to be on their good side or they're very bad.
And how long have they been in the vault?
It has been at this point maybe 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6.
Oh, I thought that.
How many of them are there? Right.
It
Do you
is
think there's anything they would accept as tribute?
potentially.
Buy our way in?
You might be able to buy your way in, but from the stories that have been told of this fog beast, you might be fighting your way out if you do that. As you... Well, I'm not sure how you get past that creature.
The Watchers do often come to Ashburn for trade, and we do barter here.
This is true.
So it is not impossible.
Well, what do they barter for?
They are
Whatever
need
they
supplies.
need to feed that beast of theirs.
Okay.
And most of them are mortals themselves. They would need general supplies to live. Ashburn is the heart of this area.
I'm sorry. What, were we just supposed to go around to some shops, buy some things, and trade our way in like a merchant?
No, I'm sure they would accept coin if needed.
Look, I think we need to lower our expectations when it comes to our ability to negotiate and get our way into situations because, I mean, I can't speak for you three, and Carlisle will point to the new folk. But us over here have pretty much concurrently made horrible disasters happen whenever we tried really anything other than sneaking in or breaking our way in. I think we need to be realistic.
Morgane
don't
leans
really
back and
break
opens her
things.
mouth as if to object and then pauses and then just goes quiet.
I don't really break.
This one has not been hired to find a solution, just merely to tell you what you are up against, and to find you help along the way. These three are obviously quite capable. You'll see this in the time to come.
Obviously.
I shall
I
tell
sort of
you.
look over to Nibbles and then look to the rest of the party. I say, by the by, on the topic of vampires, I take it you saw Lord Shorn's troops on your way into the city?
The statue people?
Yes, with the emblem, the blood,
Yes, of the finger.
all that. Yes. Unfortunately, I believe if you seek room and board here, you will need to provide a vial of your blood as payment to the local lord.
What are they going to do with it?
Why drink it, of course?
Yes, what else do you think vampires do with that?
Oh, there are them. Do you know you can do all sorts? Never mind. If they're just going to all right. Wait a minute. How far away is this vault?
Well, it's across the the fog sea.
Adjacent to it. There are ways to get across. There is someone that you can speak to, who has traveled that way before. He is, she is, lives on the eastern portions of the town. She is a knight, a tall Goliath woman. She said Jethra is her name. She has traveled that way out before. She might know more ways to get through it, but it is a dangerous road to travel.
Okay, well, let's seek our guide. If she's ready to leave, I suggest we leave, and if not, then I suppose I better give some blood. I hope I taste awful.
The bartender would come over when she sees you all leaving and says, how would you like to pay today? Are you paying in coin, blood?
You could just pay in blood.
Of course. In fact, it's the preferred payment.
You see Nibbles, he's like shaking his head and he's all like, he's like grumbling to himself.
She rolls her eyes.
But how much is it in gold, dear?
For the amount of drinks and foods you have, 2 gold pieces should cover it.
Yeah, there you go.
How much?
Carlisle.
Oh.
Very well, thank you very
I'm
much.
afraid we'll be needing our blood. What's to come?
Very well.
I'm
Okay.
gonna sink the second stout and put it down.
Yeah, she would slip back towards the bar and continue kind of serving other customers. The contact looks across over you and says, this one is staying here at the inn in case you need me. Otherwise, I'll be moving on in a few days' time. Thank you very much for using my services.
Sorry, what was your name, dear?
This one.
Oh,
He was quite clear, Andrasa.
fair enough, I suppose. I just thought it was an affectation, dear. I'm so sorry.
I'm afraid I am unnamed. I'll be waiting here for a few days, in case you need any more information. In the meanwhile, I would advise that you do not anger the Lord.
I wouldn't recommend it either. He's not very nice.
I would have to agree.
That just feels sort of unnecessary. Why would we...
Material planers
are-
are quite common to hunt.
We are prone to angering lords.
We do.
Andrasa.
This is necessary, I would say.
Yes.
Honestly,
But it's basically
again, we have
just...
to look at the track record.
It's not... It's unnecessary to say, don't anger the Lord. What would be necessary to say is these are the things that would anger the Lord. That would be helpful information. To just say, don't anger them, honestly.
It is more a warning of if you are looking for extra coin for hunting vampires, this is not the place to do it.
All right. Fair enough.
Thank you once again for using my services. And he stands and walks up towards his room, leaving you 6 to do as you wish.
Okay. Could Nibbles like waddle behind Morgaine and see like the massive like suit of armor and then very lightly start trying to stick one of the pamphlets of his to the back of her armor?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
And then Morgaine, to notice, give me a perception check. We'll do a contested.
Oh shoot! How do I do a sleight of
It's just
hand
like
check?
one
It's
of
been
the
a
So-
while.
nasty, unsanitary ones.
On your sheet, you should see the word sleight of
I'm gonna
hand. All you have
help
to do is click that.
Okay.
If you see, it should
Like
be,
on the core sheet on the left.
should be on the left,
Core
near all your
sheet
stats.
on the left.
You see the word sleight of hand. It's not a list of words. All your skills.
It's in the it's in the skills box on the
Ooh,
left.
okay, I see it. I had to open my character sheet. I got it, and then I click sleight of hand like
Mhm.
this.
Oh shit.
That is a 6.
That's a 6.
You can
Wet
basically
slap
hear me like I'm not.
Oh shit!
Perception was a 3.
Morgaine rolls lower.
He did it anyway.
To
Oh my God,
everyone
that's
else, everyone else, you can see this obviously happen. And there's a moment you're all just expecting Morgan to see, but if it's whether Morgane's focused elsewhere, it is obviously just planted on the back, and Morgaine does not notice.
Too busy with the stouts.
Like not quiet about
like-
it at all.
I
You can
think
like
it's
hear me
really-
like smushing it out to make sure it's flat. I'm like, whoa, that looks nice.
I think Trasa looks at Carlisle like,
I'll get it in a bit.
it's
At
not.
some point while we're walking around, Carlisle will take it off. He's gonna sleight of hand. He doesn't want Morgaine to know it was there to begin with. He'll clean it up at some point.
Nibbles will not notice like at all.
Yeah. All right, where are you heading?
Honestly, honestly, there was one thing I want to check because I know
Sure.
there was some like shops and stuff.
Yeah.
If possible, Carlisle wants to stop into that shop that had like the diamond on it. I want to see if I can get
Absolutely.
diamonds or diamond dust there. Like just
Absolutely.
quick stop in, check for that.
Was that the precious whatever?
Yes, that'd be
purchases?
on number 1. I don't have the key for you guys to see, but I can tell you that is number 1 on this list. It's on the left side of the town. So not too far away from you guys. You'd be able to head that way. First of all, slipping out of the tavern, you'd be able to move towards. So I'm trying to find the music. You'd be able to head towards that shop, and on your way out as well, you'd see just a couple of streets down as you're walking along. You'd see this halfling handing out little kind of flyers, and says, as you kind of pass by, you see him hand it to someone in front and he goes, "Human lives do matter still. Remember, humans fear us. We're going to change that perception." And you can see like he's got little kind of damp-eared teeth, turns and goes, "Master Nibble, sir. Good to see you."
Oh, hello there, little one. I see you're still fighting the good fight. I start hobbling closer towards him.
It's been 9 days since I tried my last human blood, so I think I feel a lot healthier. I feel a lot better. Skin's cleared up quite a bit as well. Temptation's still kicking, but I feel more moral.
That's exactly what I want to hear. And I slap him on the back a little bit too hard. I'm like, with like surprising strength. I go, "Soon you will understand what it is to be a moral vampire, just like old Nibbles." And I ruffle his hair.
Give me a perception check.
Me?
Yeah, please. For smell.
Okay, dokie. I can do it. Let me click it.
Oh,
and then
no.
Character sheet. Oops. Okay, perception.
I'll be on that list once again.
Got it.
Okay. There's too much going on at the moment to really pick up on it. He kind of folds up and goes, "Oh, keep fighting the good fight, sir. Thank you so much for everything you've taught us."
Of course. Remember, humans have every right that we vampires do. They are not prey. They are not food. They are friends.
Okay. Yes. Excuse me, kind of rushes after someone kind of to calm down. You can see a vampire pulls their cloak around quickly, like quickens their step. He follows.
I turn back to the group.
Perception 24. How close is this dude to snapping like a fucking twig?
Right.
What did you roll? 24, sorry?
I think he's actually been
I have a
taking human
passive
blood.
24 perception.
I think he's
Yeah.
lying about
I
9
think
days.
he's
just wanna-
lying.
I want to just clock this guy's general demeanor.
You get a
like, passive.
if you're passively, it'd be insight to see his demeanor, but perception would tell you. Are you saying passive insight or passive perception? So I didn't
Yeah,
hear.
like passive insight. Then they're both the exact same.
You're also a doctor as well, so you know what the smell of blood is.
Yeah, you can smell that
True.
he's. I will tell you this: you can smell that he's got human blood on his breath. He's drank recently, so he was lying there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was lying. And so therefore, you can see he's very calm. You can see like he's calmed down more recently because he's had this, as opposed to about to snap. He's kind of putting on the persona now. But yeah, you'd see him rush off away from you all.
And
And you
turn
would-
back to the group. Or go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was going to be on the scene, so you carry on.
Okay, yeah, I turn back to the group all hobbled over once again, like super, super slow and decrepit. And I go, "I have been desperately trying to instill within the younger vampires that humans, like mayhaps some of you," and I look at them kind of strangely, "are worthwhile to keep here in Ashburn as more than livestock." And I like lick my lips slightly.
And how's that working out for you, dear? You have a lot of vampires on your side.
I look at the guy in the cloak walking away, like who just all haughtily turned away the pamphlet. I go, "I think it's going very well. We'll make great strides here."
You'd be going around the corner
Fantastic.
and you'd see the signpost for this shop. It's called Gravestone's Precious Purchases. It just has the words imprinted onto the sign. An old, kind of almost like gravestone swinging sign. When you would go inside, you would see it's kind of quite a dank shop. It's quite dark in there. It's a little bit damp. It smells a bit musty. And you'd see a series all across shelves of almost these circular glass baubles. Looks like snow globes. But each one of them has these various gemstones inside, all perfectly cut. You would notice that the gems have a darker color to each of them. So even though some of them are labeled, like amethyst, you would see diamonds. There would be a 300 gold diamond, 100 gold worth of diamond dust as well. You would see each of the gemstones are just a slight, shade darker than they are in their kind of counterparts. You have crystals there. You have kind of moonstones, aquamarines, all sorts of just like gems and pearls. But every single of them is a little bit darker. The shopkeep, you can hear him kind of come from the back of the room. You hear him before you see him. You hear this as you see this quite broad on the right side, but almost like completely rotted and tattered away on the left side. Undead, kind of dressed up in kind of nicer garb, almost like a Victorian kind of tunic kind of that pulls around his neck. You can see he's attached and chained and almost like staked into against a gravestone he carries around where the name has completely been rubbed off over time. And he kind of comes in, his right side stronger and kind of more muscular, but still kind of you can see through the flesh and you can see the muscle underneath and the bones protruding. The left side completely run away. Then he goes,
"Welcome to Gravestones. How can I help?"
Yeah, can I get one of those diamonds right there and the diamond dust, please?
Yes, absolutely. There'll be 400 gold.
And he walks over and you just see him kind of take it off the side. You hear him kind of drag himself around you. As it kind of goes around, he just leans across, grabs it with his meek arm, puts it on the side, and then pulls down the dust as well, walks around.
Goes, 400 gold, thank you.
Puts it underneath the counter and kind of puts it in there.
Anything else?
Does anyone else want anything?
No. Is there a scroll shop or anything around here, dear?
None that I know of, though the magic shop might have something.
Oh, fantastic.
Umbrell Finds, I believe it's called.
Fine.
Do you have any
Excellent.
whetstones?
I do have a couple. Though I imagine for you types, it might come out a little differently.
Explain.
Well,
Types.
you're not from the Shadowfell. You've a stench to you.
He kind of leans down and you see his arm shakes as he lifts up a whetstone. And you see it's almost this obsidian-coloured whetstone. He places it on the side.
This should sharpen your blade, but it will change the properties for the time that it's sharpened.
In what way?
Your blade will appear shadowy. It will pierce the mind instead of the flesh.
Oh, mine already does that. Excellent.
Ah.
I'll take it.
Good. Well, thank you for some of the gravestones.
Yes.
Is it free?
No, gold.
Yes, how much?
100 gold pieces, please.
There we are. Slides it over.
Takes it, puts it underneath the counter.
Thank you.
Of course.
You see him kind of lean on his stronger side on the counter.
And if nobody else needs anything here?
Oh,
Looks at-
there's something I must do. And I hobble up and I put a pamphlet really like, I slap her right on the table. Don't worry, I was just hoping to keep this here so any potential customers might read it.
Yes. I'll put it up on the wall.
He takes it.
Thank you so much.
He waits for your back turn, he scrunches up, and you see him throw it in the corner where there's about 20 others there. Just piles up.
I wobble away happily, like job done. I've like accomplished something.
Right. I would quite like to stop by the magic shop, dears, before we find that knight. if you all don't mind. Master Nibbles or Master Cyrus or Mistress Taryn, was it? Do you know where that shop is?
Umbrell finds
So,
it'll be number 5 on the map for you guys.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just lead the party over there then.
Mm-hmm. All right, wandering through the town, you'd notice that the point where you pass through the center of town, you can see the kind of blood bank in the middle, which is a place where a series of people are lined up going to give their taxes. You'd see the stone man here is a gargoyle, but built of a kind of a darker asphalt almost texture, this darkish gray. You see large kind of wings that are folded in on the back, much broader, taller, about 15 feet tall, kind of greater axe attached to the front of him. You can see almost kind of can pull it out of his skin. This kind of larger gargoyle oversees as each of the citizens is lining up to give a tax donation of blood. They go inside the open blood bank. They walk up to this well. It's kind of organized by blood type, and they drop it into these kind of different departments of a well, and it all falls down. You can hear the gargoyle say, "Next," as they kind of pass one by one. And as you're going through the main square, you'd also hear the kind of bustling sound of a marketplace. And you can see that the current market that's going on is a corpse market. You can see people selling different corpse pieces. You'd see this kind of older lady kind of like cold over her store going, "Come get your fresh legs and arms, limbs of all sorts, cleaned this morning, fresh off the market, freshly dug corpses." You see others who are selling undead. "Broader undead, I've got ogres, I've got minotaur. Broader undead can help you with all your menial tasks." And you kind of walking past, it's almost corpse market. You see jars of eyes and new mouths. You can see kind of an undead fellow who's got some sentience is shopping for new kind of jawlines, like trying them on. Kind of snaps his one off and puts a new one on. Kind of looks himself in the mirror, and the person goes, "Yeah, very dashing as you're kind of passing through." But they're selling just body parts galore here in the center of town. But with your intention to head southward, you'd head down towards Umbrell Finds. And this store, compared to Vandervols, the magic store you're used to, is a lot darker. It's kind of painted over windows on the inside. But the moment you walk inside Umbrell Finds, you would notice that every single item in its glass container is entirely wrapped in chains with many locks. Like each one has like 3 or 4 locks on them. And you see these different items behind glass containers. And sitting behind the counter, the owner seems to be a goblin, very pale white skin though goblin, and hundreds. He's like almost got a hunchback. He's got hundreds of keys and key rings around his neck, hanging kind of like almost dangling down there. He's got keys as earrings. He's got keys pierced through his nose, on his eyebrows. He's got keys just on one on his lip as well. He's kind of sat there, and you can just see all of the chains and locks around the room as you enter into his magical store.
Amazing.
Come on in. How can I help you?
No, I'm sort of passing through, and I just thought I'd see what you have on offer, dear.
Yeah,
Starts looking around.
got multiple magic items.
You can see in one of the boxes, you can see these kind of, they're labeled. You see one that's called Bright Bursts. They're almost these kind of bauble like grenades with like a light inside of them, almost like potion-like. You can see a long sword who's fully wrapped up in several of them, called Light Drinker, and it's kind of this almost like dark blade that almost has like a shadowy glow to it, a very silvered kind of handle. You can see a helmet in one of the cases. It's labeled Helm of Weeping Death. It's kind of this like almost skull mask kind of helmet as well, but the top is kind of pulled up with like a slight spike on the top. You can see other little kind of almost like tube-like devices with these kind of wrapped around coiled like wire called Dawn Snatchers. You see a series of arrows called Void Arrows that are kind of in a quiver behind a glass container as well. You can see an armor as well that's almost like leathered armor called Dark Fathom Armor behind it. You'd also see scroll containers, and he has 3rd, 4th, 5th level scrolls all put inside. And you can see him kind of leaning there on his counter. He goes,
Feel free to look around. If you see anything you like, let me know.
What are these? She points at the bright bursts.
Oh, yeah, those. They're like grenades. You throw them, they burst a lot of light, burn everything, and kind of a radiant glow.
Above
Yeah.
board, it's a 30-foot radius sphere, throwable, 48 radiant damage on a failed dex save. Half on a success.
I start hissing at the little bright burst. I do not like those. No, I do not.
Don't go fucking near them then, alright? Okay, don't touch my squares.
All right.
You see kind of aggressive,
Start
just kind of
wobbling
leans
away
forward.
slowly.
What about these? It looks at the Dawn Snatchers.
Oh, yes, yeah. Those things kind of do the opposite. They soak in light. They absorb it.
Like the opposite effect of bright bursts. They can be placed or thrown and they absorb light in a radius. They can then emit the light or keep it kind of shunted and hidden away. It's a way of draining in light.
Oh. She'll leaf through the scrolls, or I guess not because they're chained up.
Yeah, you can see them labeled. He doesn't allow to show them inside, but you can see that they're labeled in there. And you would see. Let me find it. In his level 3 section, he has blink, fear, feign death, gaseous form, hypnotic pattern. Lightning bolt, major image. In his level 4 spells, I'll go slow so you can write them down. Ice storm, fire shield, Evard's black tentacles, conjure minor elementals, summon elemental, and then finally in his 5th level, he has got Cloud Kill, Dream, Dominate Person, and Telekinesis.
I'm also leafing through the scrolls, but just like next to
Just hovering over the shoulder.
Indra, so just like anything new?
Oh, and also Jalazi Storm of Radiance. That's also on there.
I think Indrasa will stop at Storm of Radiance. How much, dear?
He kind of looks across you.
800.
Can I insight that?
Yeah. Indrasa
He's like hiking up the
takes a
prices
moment.
for
Yeah.
Tourists. 24.
He's definitely hiking up the prices by a bit. Yeah, he's definitely got a bit of a tourist price going on.
800? You must be joking. Storm of Radiance is a 5th level spell. 800?
Yeah,
Are you quite serious?
but guess what?
What?
I'm the only fucker around here who sells it.
True.
I wouldn't worry, Andrasa. We can just get it when we get back to the material plane.
Yes, I'm certainly not
Oh,
paying
can you?
800 gold.
Yes, we can.
Roll a
I was interested in this sword here, but the prices are a little steep for my liking.
Hold on now.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
I was gonna say, do I come to this because this town's not particularly large, so I assume Taryn, if she was gonna buy anything magical, she'd probably has
Yeah.
some frequency in this place.
Yeah, you've probably been here before. He'd recognize you. He's definitely upmarketed to them a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna walk over to the counter and put like a hand down and be like, I understand the need to make money in this world, but I don't think my family would much care to know that you're hiking up the price for someone like myself. Eyes.
Oh, shit.
Roll intimidation with charisma.
Okay. Oh. Okay. That's not particularly good.
What's your charisma?
40.
Yeah, you rolled 13, he goes.
Now, I know you've got connections. So I'm not going to be rude when I say this. But they can't buy those kind of spells back home. It's illegal back there.
No, it's not how. She just sort of shakes her head.
Tara
However,
just feels embarrassed. Oh.
I am willing to cut a deal if you buy some things. Light drinker, if you're interested in that thing, is 7,000 gold.
What does it do? I have swords that cut things.
It cuts a little harder. It also can cloak you in darkness. And only you. Makes it harder you get hit.
above board, it is a +1 longsword that does deal necrotic damage instead of slashing and deals an extra 1d8 damage on a hit. You have 3 charges, and as a bonus action, for 1 minute, you can sheath yourself in kind of negative light, cloaking the wielder in darkness. Basically gives enemies disadvantage against you.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Unless they see through.
What's this armor over here?
Dark Tavern armor. It's quite strong stuff, that one. That one in particular. I'm going to load up my notes. Where is it? That one allows you to breathe underwater. It also allows you to connect with your tentacly side. Cast spell via that. It also focuses on being a little tougher than the armor that you'd get back home.
Above board. It's a very rare armor that requires attunement. It's +1 to AC. It lets you breathe normally underwater while wearing it. It also lets you cast Black Tentacles with a spell save of DC 15. It's a 15-foot square centered on you. You're immune to its effects, but it does not follow you when you move, and it doesn't require concentration. Once per dusk, that is. Effect.
And that armor right there,
And it's also studded leather.
that armor right there, is 12,000 gold.
I've yet to hear the deal that you intend to strike. You're just listing prices to us.
It's true. For every item you buy, I'll knock off 10% to each of the items.
I don't want to connect with my tentacly side.
No?
I'm good on that one.
Hmm.
And how about you?
Looks at you, Morgan.
Well, no doubt it's a fine blade. I'm afraid it's somewhat out of my price range, though. Perhaps after I've raided a vault.
Perhaps then. Okay. I'll keep it there.
Looks towards you and Dresser.
With the promise of coming back, I'll knock off 50 gold, 650.
I'll walk up to Andrasa for a second and lean towards him. You know, they did say that everything we buy is going to take off 10%. Now, we could just buy a lot of cheap stuff. They've already made the deal.
That is very true. She sort of looks around again to see what the kind of cheapest things are.
The cheapest on display, the void arrows are 30 gold a pop. There's 10 of them. And the Helm of Weeping Death is 250 gold. The Bright Bursts are 300 gold each. And Dawn Snatcher is 500 gold.
Wait, sorry, 10% off for each item we buy, but if we bought 10 items, then would it just...
No, I'm not giving you out for free. That's not how the deal works. This is when we're discussing bigger items.
But if I... Are you sure? Because it's what it sounded like, was 10% for every item.
You did say 10% per item they buy. That was not good verbiage as a businessman.
And then if I bought...
Now, come on.
Wait, if I bought 10 arrows and the scroll, you would owe
Okay.
us...
Yeah, go and tell the fucking Lord that.
He kind of puts out a ring on the table and goes,
Tell you what. I'll give you that scroll for 200 gold. And you buy this arrow. You buy this ring for another 300 gold.
What's the ring?
It's a ring of light drain. Very good for draining nearby light sources and absorbing it into the light. Into the ring, sorry.
Like
Is
at the
it?
back near the door, and I just go, here he goes again, pawning off the items he doesn't want.
Is it?
Or something.
This one needs to go quick, that's all.
Does it?
I'd
I'm
like
gonna...
the insight action.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
know if he's trying to get rid of some like cursed trash that he needs out of here now. 24.
it doesn't like he fears the ring, but he's definitely got an ulterior motive, yeah.
Right.
Do I recognize, or would any of the Shadowfell people recognize, like the sigil on it, or?
On the ring itself, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm proficient in Arcana. Can I make that check as well?
I'm not.
Absolutely.
I believe
What
you.
is magic?
That's,
I've never seen it.
14 from me.
Yeah, I'll take sure.
Me and Nibble's just like, huh.
I'm like drooling, like, whoa, what a pretty ring.
Taryn and Nibbles, you wouldn't really see anything on the ring. You can see there's a slight wisp going around, like a white wisp, like almost like a cloud going around the ring, Cyrus, that you'd make out. The only indication. You're not sure what that attaches to, though.
Interesting. Make a mental note of that.
Mm-hmm.
I might regret doing this, but we have abilities and we should use them, right? So Andrasa kind of just looks at the ring on the counter without touching it, looks back up at him, and I'm going to use my Bastion perk to cast Identify. I can be as far away as I want from it. I think it's like 100 and some feet, so I'm going to Bastion Identify it.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly as you described. It's a ring of light drain. You can use a bonus action to absorb a nearby light source within 60 feet of you, be it a candle, a campfire, or anything of akin to it. It can also dispel any light spells, except for sunlight, with the same bonus action. You can absorb those in. And then you can also use an action to then emit the light, the equivalent to it from your own ring. He told you the truth.
It's not a good enough item to endure whatever the weird
Yeah.
shit is that he's not telling us.
This seems quite useful for this place. It's quite cheap that you'd be getting rid of it. No?
It's old stock, that's all.
But you're trying to sell me an old ring.
Well, we don't have as much
Just
use
some
for it
old
around here.
crummy ring.
No. It's perfectly capable.
I
Is
start
it?
like hobbling over and tugging on Indressa's robes, like so small, like barely looking over the counter, going, I think it would be lovely on your finger, ma'am. Perhaps this is a good deal.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Is it some sort of hustle?
No.
Hang on.
No, Indros, it's
Was
most
it
likely
26?
cursed.
He's confused about what you're referring to, so he starts sweating. He's definitely looking like he's holding back sight.
I don't think I like any of this. Something's definitely up. Either you two are in cahoots and you're trying to pawn off
Me and Nibbles.
some shitty ring, or this ring is just shitty on its own. You're not in cahoots. This is just coincidence. This is some terrible ring that's got a curse on it, or it's somehow being tracked by something. And
It's
someone's
not being tracked.
Is it?
It's,
Well, no. I
it's
suppose it
Now,
wouldn't
what's
be
your angle?
right.
are you
How
interested
badly do
if
you
I
want
tell
rid
you?
of it?
If this ring has no baggage, or not much, no curse,
Not much.
Not much. See, we are devastatingly curious people, unfortunately, so we are interested.
if you
tell
wear the
us
ring,
what you
you'll be
wanna-
fine. Does that interest you?
But what if I don't wear it? What if I just sort of put it in my bag?
That's also fine. My point
When is
being,
it not fine?
it won't have baggage for you, as travellers.
What baggage? If I stayed in the Shadowfell, it would not be fine.
It's not the Shadowfell he's worried about. It absorbs light. Doesn't it?
Well, that's actually not.
Stay in the same place for too long. Go on.
No, you're reaching. See, it's not that kind of baggage.
Oh, I'm reaching. The price is reaching, is what it is.
See,
Right, why don't you just say it and then
I'm
you're
pretty
making
sure the
this
baggage
so
is whoever the ring
complicated.
belongs to.
Bingo. You're passing by. You won't have to worry about it. It just dropped down to 200 gold.
Oh. So wait, I'm sorry. We're doing you a favor by taking this ring.
Oh,
No, the ring inconveniences the owner in some way. What does it do?
Exactly what it says on the tin. But
To the owner.
To the owner? Are you interested or not?
Joe, can you
told you
re-describe
we're
the aura
interested.
I saw around the ring
Yeah, it's
with the
got,
Arcana check?
it's got a kind of like a cloud, whitish cloud, kind of that moves around it.
Perhaps
I'm
it
assuming I see
belongs
this
to
too,
the
Joe.
Watchers of the Fog? Question mark.
Hmm. Do the rest of us see the little wispy?
You'd be able to make it out, very slightly.
What do I see?
It's a magical ring, just the general white
Just-
magic
Just
that kind of emits
bluey,
off it. Yeah.
white glow.
all
Okay.
magic.
Here's the thing. If I take this ring off your hands as a favor to you, because obviously you don't want it around, what if something untoward happens to me because I've taken the ring off your hands? I've done you a favor. What is my recompense?
No. He
then?
mentioned traveling. I think the owner of the ring seeks it.
I don't really have time to have a sort of long drawn out conversation with the owner of this ring about its provenance and who
Then
owns
pocket
it
it.
when. If I bought it from a. What?
Then just put it in your pocket when you buy it.
But I need to know who's going to come after me so I know when I can wear it and when I can put it in my pocket. I don't want to just be sort of swanning around town with this beautiful ring on and then all of a sudden some grubby little urchin or something comes up and tries to take it off my finger. Oh, miss, it belongs to my dead I don't have time.
roll a
What is it?
persuasion
Who
check.
owns it?
Roll a persuasion check.
She's really not good at that.
It's just not good business to sell something that comes with a tag on it that says you may get beaten up for having it.
19.
It fell off the top shelf. And the owner isn't anyone dangerous. However, it's bad for business if I was to be selling it. So,
So
you won't be
if I
found
were
with
to-
it. You won't be hunted for it. But if it was to remain in my custody for a long time, then I might get in trouble.
All I really have is your word on that. So I suppose if somebody does notice that I have the ring and I say, well, I bought it at Umbrell Fines, ask them, then I'd be in the clear anyway.
He takes the ring. That's under the desk.
I don't like blackmail.
There wasn't blackmail, that was logic, dear. That's totally different.
Sounded
Tried to
like that
sell
now.
me some shitty ring that you're
I
going
just
to
gave
be
you
in
a
trouble
discount.
for.
Are you buying anything else?
No, I don't think so.
I am interested in the sword, though.
When are you ready to vault?
I'll be back.
All right. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay. He's gonna leave
As
back
we're
his chest.
walking out, I like Nibbles puts 2 and 2 together after listening to the entire conversation much later than everyone else, and he goes, "I think that ring was stolen. I think he took it from someone."
Yes, yes.
Yes, dear.
Whoa! I can't believe he's selling stolen goods, like loudly. How strange!
No.
You can see there's give me a performance check. I just want to see how loud you go with it.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Performance.
People
Roll the 4.
people are immediately like kind of just walking by and like ignoring. The stone guards don't really react to that kind of stuff, so people kind of look
It's
at
just
you.
a rambling old man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all very
They
used to Nibbles just
shouting
being like
out.
old and
Mhm.
rambling. No one pays attention.
yeah.
Okay.
Where are you heading to next?
The contact.
Okay. Yeah. You can head over towards the eastern portion of town, near closer to where the woods kind of break off, and to the house that you were told to kind of seek out, Sir Jethra's. And when you arrive there, you would see this pretty ordinary house, but on the front of the kind of door, you can see a signpost that says, like it's almost like a little mailbox, and it says on the front, need help, need guards, need muscle. Put a letter through here, and it's kind of got this like little mailbox in the front. But it's otherwise just someone's home. You can see they've got it kind of closed off. It's quite a skinny house with 2 floors, a tall front door. But no, it's not a shop. It's nothing like that. It's just someone's home. Some sort of contractor.
I walk up to the wall and I start putting my pamphlet on the wall, and I just like nailing it into their house, like,
Nice.
job done. Ah.
You'd walk up, and then the moment you start putting it on the wall, you can hear them open the door, and you see this kind of burly Goliath who goes, no, stop.
Oh,
Nipples.
oh, hello. Good to see you again. I just thought this looked like a perfect place to put my pamphlet.
You can't put them on my wall.
Oh, I lightly take it off, and you can see there's like other spots where there's like ripped paper where I've clearly done this before when I come by your house. All right, well, maybe tomorrow. And I stuff it back into my coat.
Maybe find something else to do tomorrow. All right.
And she looks across at your whole group, all confused. You see this kind of
Hello,
broad,
dear.
almost warrior type. Bald with tattooed head, as she's a Goliath. She kind of looks across and goes,
I've not seen you lot around here. I mean, maybe a couple of you in the passing. Who are you?
We are travelers who would like to get some information from you. We were referred to you from the tavern.
All right.
From this one.
she looks at you in particular, Sir Morgan.
You're a Dread Warden.
News of us reaches far. Yes.
No, the insignia and regalia of the order I used to belong to. I'm Sir Jethra. I'm a former warden. Come on in.
I'm on a history check.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
15.
Yeah, you probably never met her. You'd have known her name as... You probably saw her on a list of of killed knights. Supposedly died during the hunt for Gola. A kind of a great giant from the Shadowfell, who used to be in the Dreadfulls, one of the escapees. She was on a list that died there. She's also one of those kind of outward knights that barely spends any time around the actual Dreadful. Was more of a kind of a capturer kind of knight. So was never really one of the ones that would remain there. But she was on a list of dead knights. She'd invite you into that home. You can see she's kind of got quite broader furniture, kind of much bigger, built for her structure of like 7 feet tall. She kind of sits in her chair in this kind of small like living space, kind of a fur rug on the ground, wooden chairs kind of dotted around, almost this kind of like sofa that's kind of pulled together with rugs over it. She sits in her kind of an armchair. She rests her arm in front of her lap, and you can see she's missing everywhere up from like the middle part of her forearm downward is kind of missing on her right arm. And she kind of rests the snub down on her kind of lap, looks across at all of you. Come on in, I'd give you drinks, but I don't really have much supplies left, and I'm saving. What, you here for me? She looks at you, Sir Morgaine.
Well, firstly, I attended your funeral rites, so I am glad you're not dead.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
You dragging me back to the vault?
Oh, of course not.
Oh.
We are looking for a guide, though.
Well, I know the Shadowfell quite well. At least these parts of it.
And the vault?
The vault?
Yes.
What vault?
Nibbles, like, walking up the ceiling slowly, is going, "The vault across the fog sea! The vault where the fog beast dwells! Where we are headed now!"
That one.
Yeah, Cyrus will pipe up as well and say, "These three seek the Watchers. We're hired to escort them."
Well, the best route across there is going to be the Wisp-like Woods, but if you're going to go through that, you're going to need something to counter the wisps. Or you're just going to be their fodder. Assuming you haven't got anything for that yet.
Well, what's good counter for wisps?
Usually speech therapy. I myself have a bit of a wisp.
Could work for a time. So they drain your very self in your body. What I would suggest is getting yourself a shadow hook, if you can.
Shadow hook.
Yeah, nasty little creatures when you catch them in the wild, but if they naturally come to you, or if you find one that's finds you a better master, they'll serve you well. They eat the wisps. They hate them.
They naturally come to you. Wait, how big are they?
It depends on the person. Shadow hooks are made of shadow, so they attach themselves to your shadow. Start animating it. Lord Tibario Sean has actually got a few himself. He might be able to give you one if you can get in his good graces.
You want us to talk to the Lord? I look at the group and I'm like, eyes really wide, like, if you really want to.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's an option. Otherwise... Huh?
Is he terrible? Is he sort of unreasonable?
He just doesn't like me.
He's a vampire.
Oh, what if he just doesn't like Master Nibbles?
Well, as vampires
He's a very
go,
powerful vampire.
he's strong. He left the city a while ago, but he's of vampires, he's a more reasonable one to speak to, but he still is in his nature. I mean, you can talk to him. Maybe you may have to make a deal with him. I know another way of getting one, but I can't help you with it. Unless you've got any fighters among you.
Well, I'm sure if it's a fighting thing, we could handle it.
Well, there is something... There's a bodak nearby, not too far, in the woods south of here. I think it's got one attached to it. And I can't imagine it wants to be attached to it, as they're nasty creatures, so. You kill the bodak, you'll be able to free it. I'm sure you'll be able to lure it in then.
Has any of us heard of a bodak?
Do a nature check, if you like.
Sure, I would love
Also,
to.
you can do an Arcana one as well. Arcana would give you different information
I
about
got a
the
nat
magic nature.
20.
Near 20.
You're a Shadowkai. These are kind of like creatures from your homeworld, or like where your people come from. Bodaks are essentially mortals or mortal-like beings which were touched by something immensely evil, whether coerced into it or killed by it. Usually shadow walkers are the most common cause of bodaks, which are like immensely like giant-sized walking shadows of just pure death. If someone dies by something like that, they'll often rise as a bodak. They become this cruel, almost monstrosity version of themselves, like a haunted version of themselves, and they wander around doing cruelty in essentially the manner in which they died. So very nasty creatures, have a horrific. I would say also because you rolled so well, you know some general things that they do. They have a gaze that is able of killing you. If you
Just kills you.
yeah, it can drop you down to 0 HP immediately. It's a death gaze. Otherwise, they can kind of wither you away with their eyes. They've kind of got a very unsightly stare to them. Otherwise, they'll just break apart your body through fist and claw alike. But they also hate sunlight.
Relays that information to the group. Right, we'll talk to the lord of the town, who might be reasonable, is also a vampire, doesn't like master nibbles. Find bodak, which is quite terrible, can stare at you to death, which does sound quite useful. Also doesn't like light, so doesn't like sunlight or like any light.
Oh,
Or doesn't matter, just
Well, it would help us gain insight into the caliber of creature in this place. At the very least, fighting one.
or your other option is nabbing one of those watchers when they come into trade. They have their own way of getting past the wisps. I'm not sure how.
I'm
Although
also
that-
quite confident in our ability to nab somebody when they're coming into trade.
Well, while we wait for the Watchers to arrive, my accent suddenly changed.
Who are you?
I think that perhaps we could at least visit the Lord, although I would like to stand behind Morgaine if we do happen to visit him.
I would like to skip the Lord. We don't plan on
Yeah.
staying long.
That works for me.
We nab a trader or we fell a beast.
Yeah, I like both those more than dealing with the Lord.
Well, the Watchers are more like cultists, but traitors then. But we should be able to manage it.
But if we nab one, wouldn't it make it more difficult to get in?
Most certainly.
Here's
I
your
don't
friend.
think it
We
would,
took him.
It would probably reduce our chances of negotiation if we were to kidnap one of the cultists.
There's also
Unless
the
it
matter
was
of the
one they
beast that
really
resides within the
liked.
vault,
Right.
Yeah.
of which the Watchers do tend to.
I admit if we are to be fighting against the bodak, it might be a bit rough. They're not the kind of fellows that you want to come across out here in the Shadowfell.
Well, we have some ways to bring sunlight to the bodak, if that is indeed something they are.
I would like to avoid the sunlight personally.
Yeah, that was my concern is
Hmm.
may need you to have a little bit of space from anything we do.
Perhaps an umbrella.
Are you listen, Nibbles, are you one of those close-up fighters, or are you kind of like a stand-back kind of combatant?
Oh, well, cracks my knuckles and I start to straighten my back and you hear myriad pops of my spine as I gain 1 inch. I'm quite up close and personal. I raise my 2 tiny little arms and I make fisticuffs. I was a bit of a brawler back in my youth. Don't worry, I can take on pretty much anyone.
You're a
All right. Well, that doesn't help with the sunlight problem then.
Except the sun. Good point. I could not beat the sun in fisticuffs.
Above board, gang. I remember that we have that bag of sun drops still, like a big AOE
Yeah, we
sunlight
do.
beam that would kind of completely take care of that whole part of a bodak fight.
It does sound
And that's on
useful.
Carlisle, right now.
Okay.
If we were gonna use it.
Right. Mistress Terran, Master Cyrus,
Sir.
are you all right with sunlight? Light in general? Light?
Yes, I'm fine with light. I'm not a vampire or anything.
Would you
I don't
like to
mind
be?
No, I actually think you would not much care for that, so no.
No, I've got enough curses, thank you.
Oh, just an offer. And I flash my tiny little nub-like fangs, like they're very, like, pathetically small.
It feels like potentially the bodak is the best choice, although Sir Jethro, you would not be assisting us with that, correct?
She raises her arm. I was recently attacked, so unfortunately I'm unable to assist in much at the moment. Once I find a replacement arm, I'll be back out there. I'm sure you'll be fine. Kind of looks towards Sir Morgan. You have capable talent among you.
So, options are a creature of horrible darkness that could kill us if it looks at us, or some cultists we would need to apprehend.
Apprehend, but like carefully, so we don't hurt them, so that the rest of the cultists aren't mad at us, right?
If we do decide
Or we
to...
kill them and then we just show up and we're like, "What? You lost your friend Jimmy? That's so sad."
We could attempt to convince the cultists to take us back, perhaps with them after they're done trading. But I would not recommend apprehending them in town. I do not think the Lord would be very
Oh.
happy about any activities that would disrupt his trade.
You mean make friends with a cultist? Just sort of. Oh, we heard about that fog beast. It sounds really good.
I wouldn't know. I don't usually talk to them. I try not to be around humans. I get certain urges.
They are one of the only groups with a way across the fog sea.
Have you ever spoken to one? Are they reasonable aside from the cult thing?
That's a good question for me to ask the DM.
Yeah.
How long have you been inside Ashburn? If you've been in Ashburn for a little while, then you've probably spoken to them. They come maybe once every couple of months to trade. So it depends.
Yeah, I would
been
say
here
that
forever,
my
so.
character's probably been in Ashburn for like 2 years.
Yeah, and you've probably come
I think
across
I've
them
been here
couple
for
of
a
times.
couple decades.
Yeah, yeah. They've been here for they've been coming back and forth for 7 years. So they've stopped by a bunch of times.
Okay.
Quite a common occurrence. Oh, go ahead.
Would Taryn have met the Lord before? Vampire?
You guys are BFFs.
Yeah, potentially. How long have you been here, Taryn?
Whole life? Like,
Is this where your family's from? Then, in which case,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Just about to be like, oh, that Lord Tiberio Shorn? That's
Yeah,
my
you-
guy.
You would definitely know him. Your family would probably
How do
be
you
quite well
spell his
acquainted
name?
with him.
Is it like
oh god.
Tiberi
okay, hold on.
O'Shorn? Like he's Irish? Like, is it like-
Tyberio.
Mr. Ashorn. Oh, a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think what best course of action, I imagine, is to perhaps not through violence obtain a shadow hook from the Lord, perhaps. And then if we cannot strike a bargain or a deal, then the bodak, rather than try, because bodaks are very dangerous.
So, negotiation with the Lord first. Bodak second. Sorry, cult. Apprehend.
Oh,
Kidnapping third.
We need
or-
to get through the the Wisp Light
Wisp of the
Forest,
Woods.
right? That was
Yes.
Yeah. before. So. As long as the negotiation with the Lord does not take the same tone as the shopkeeper, because I do not think blackmail or
Always the tone.
Okay.
That is why I'm worried about the negotiation.
I-
I'm telling you, this is going to end up going poorly.
I don't think it will. He was very unreasonable. That's not, I wasn't. Anyway.
Look, you know the Lord, so let's meet the Lord. If a cultist comes into town, perhaps Carlisle can follow it and figure out how they cross the fog. And failing both those things, we know ultimately we can kill a beast. Surely.
That
hopefully.
is a delightful point, Morgaine. I come over and I pat her on the hip because that's as high as I reach. You're quite the smart young lass.
Well, if you need anything from me, let me know. But otherwise, the bodak be found in the southern woods if you do decide to go that way. And they're attracted to the screams of help.
Oh, fantastic.
They're
I
more
feel like we
convincing
could
the
get
better.
Nibbles to scream.
Help! Help me! Help!
I think if Nibbles is screaming, the Lord might not come.
Oh,
That's true.
Okay, well, toddles off from this place.
Are you Morgana will halt in the doorway, and we'll kind of lean, just turn our head back and be like, "Pray tell, why did you not return to the chapter?"
When we came out here to hunt Gola, there was 24 of us knights, or at least half of them were squires. We fought against that creature and we lost the vast majority of us, and eventually caught her. And it was strange. It took us weeks here to track it down. And it was the furthest away from the Dreadfort I'd ever been, but even in this dark place, it was like a weight was lifted off of me. Like I felt safer here than I did there. And I guess that, and losing so many of my friends, I decided just to stick it out here and help the folk who need it here. Something about the chapter was wrong. I don't know if it was something in my childhood or something back there, but something... It rubbed me the wrong way.
Morgana will smile and look down. Between us on that, we agree. And between us, things a lot worse than Gola have escaped the vault.
If that is true, then they might need me.
Well, at the very least, you'll need an arm.
One is coming.
And then she'll bow out the door.
She nods her head, kind of leans back, looks at her axe on the mantelpiece for the first time in a while, and here's the door close. You all journey outside. Is your intention? Where's your intention to go towards the Lord?
Yeah.
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 If we have like a manor
We'll go,
somewhere or
we'll go
something.
towards the Lord. Keep our eyes peeled for any weird trader cultists that we might see on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone really talking a lot about fog? I feel like they're.
Yeah, it makes sense.
People
Yeah.
are just
Did you see
really
that
like
fog? It was so cool.
Yeah.
You can keep your ears out. There's other places you can look around as well. There is. I think you've looked at most of the major shops, I guess. There's a place called Bogrel's Multiplanar Tastes. You also have a potion shop as well. You can look at some point. Otherwise, yeah, you could head out of the house. It's not a long walk to get towards the Lord's manor because he lives outside. He's the one in the top right. On the map, he lives on the outskirts of the town in his own little manor house. You'd have to pass out the northeastern gate and head towards his manor. But before we get there, let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break, stretch everyone's legs, give you guys a chance before we get into the last portions of this episode of just getting a drink and all that stuff. So we'll be back in 5 minutes to see the conversation with the Lord of Vampire.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, chat, we're going to start once everyone's back. Okay, I think everyone's back. Let's get back into it. Okay.
Everyone's best
All
friends. with
right.
him.
Hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
All right, let's get back into things. So, last we left off, you were heading out into the woods just to the north towards Lord Tiberio Sean's manor. You would leave the outskirts of the town and notice he doesn't live within the palisade walls, off on his own, a bit more solitary. You would see his manor comes into sight through the trees where they've kind of paved the road towards it, which is guarded by stone guards. Every maybe 30 feet or so, you've got like one on either side, as they kind of just litter the road to keep it protected. But they stay silent as you pass by, allowing you to journey up towards his manor house, which you can see is just a manor house. It's not some grandiose castle. It is just a larger house than most of the ones inside the town. You can see he's got a small stone wall that goes around the outside. He's got a garden. He's got his own apiaries of like these kind of bees that are flying around. And you can see a couple of the stone guards are kind of pulling out some of the honey, and it comes out almost this kind of black, deep color. And they kind of gather that together. They don't need to wear any guards. You can see the bees trying to sting, but they can't get through. And then you'd see right at the kind of front entrance, you'd see a kind of an undead, but very kind of cleaned up flesh. Very hard to tell they're undead, other than the fact they barely move, with kind of a bit of a cloth over their arm, holding it quite delicately as a butler. They wander outside as they see you coming. I look across all of you and say, "Greetings and welcome to Lord Sean's manor. How may we be of service?" Just looks
I look to the.
I start nudging Candy's character forward. I'm like, go on, you're the friend.
I have some guests from out of town who seek to cross the Wisplight. I don't go outside. I stay in libraries. What's it called?
The Wisplight Woods, yes.
That's the one, yes. But we're in need of a favor from the Lord. If we could have an audience with him.
Of course, Lady Talon. And he wanders inside. He goes, "If you follow me," walk through the doors. You can see the kind of grand hall that he's got. The stairs that lead up and around into the balcony of different rooms. The dining hall to the left, a kind of a billiards almost room to the right, like all kind of a library, and he's got like almost like a dartboard and everything in there as well. Also like a kind of almost like this twirling glass container that swirls blood that he kind of can pour on a tap. And you can also see in kind of the center by the stairs, you can see where this it's almost like device comes up like a well and kind of brews with blood at the tip of it, and has the glasses arranged around the outside for you to kind of just swash and drink from it.
Nice.
I'm like tipping my nose up and pretending not to see it.
Yeah. You can see it's kind of just like, shimmering, almost like a fountain in the center. He looks across and goes, "I'll get the Lord if you want to wait in the whichever room you
Thank
prefer."
you so much. Thank you.
Wanders upstairs.
I normally am here for like family stuff, so I'm not used to spearheading.
Family stuff. Are you related to the Lord?
No. My family is has a noble title, I guess is the way you'd phrase it. So
Yes.
just connections.
Excellent.
Which
Not
room are you
related.
waiting in? Do you go in the dining hall, or do you go in the kind of more comfortable seating area? In the living room? The library?
Seating area?
Okay, yeah, you wander into there, sit around waiting. Does everyone sit? Like, how do you arrange yourselves in a house you're unfamiliar with? What's your kind of go-to? Sitting
What's in
down,
the
standing
room?
up. You got like a seating area that's like facing towards the window, like almost like a talking pit area. A rug on the ground, a long kind of velvet and kind of almost like reddened long couch that kind of almost turns a little bit. A couple of like wooden broad seats there as well. You've got a library around the back of it as well. You've got a little drinking kind of vessel that goes around in circles. There's a small chess table in the library area, and there's like a rug on the ground. And there's like a dart table on the wall with darts board. So you standers or sitters?
Indrasa will stand in the center and just sort of make note of the room, and then see that there's like a library section, and just walk over to books and start scanning the shelves. Just looking at titles, not like picking any up.
I guess Nibbles will be standing on the dartboard on the wall, like just walking up onto the wall. And I'll just stand on the dartboard. I'll be like, "Oh, well, this is quite the nice abode."
Yeah. it isn't long before you hear the footsteps coming down the stairs. And kind of wandering in a great, like, a long garment that drifts just before it hits the floor itself, like this cloak. You see a silver dragonborn. He's quite slender in his nature, very kind of tall, broad scales, reddened eyes. And he wanders in with, like, one hand tucked behind his back, one in front, and goes, "Ah, Lady Taryn. And where is your dear father?"
I am not coming on family business in that sense. He is at our home today.
Oh,
It's just me.
and what do I owe the pleasure? You brought guests.
That is correct. Taryn is like... Taryn is usually a seen but not heard type person. Usually she's kind of carted around. So again, she's just like, I've seen people do this before. I know what I'm doing. When there is a concern within the vault, which I have, of those the fog cult people. I forget their name.
Yes, the Watchers of the Fog. There's concern with them. Have they done something to harm your family? We'll pay for whatever they have done.
No, not in that regard, but you seem... Your reaction to that suggests... are they people within your protection, or are they more... Is there...
We deal with trade with them. They pay a high market price for our goods, as they have no one else to go to.
Right, so they don't infringe on any commerce or things that you have intent for? Like, they don't impede anything for you?
They know better. They know better.
Mm.
What have they done?
It isn't so much what they've done, it's more that myself I can speak for. There is, in the vault that they inhabit, there is a relic that I seek, something that I need, and to get to that place, we need to get through the woods, and you know best how to get through the woods, was my thought.
Ah. I see. Then his eyes drift up towards Nibbles. You.
Oh! Mr. Lord, a pleasure to make your acquaintance once again. Would you like a pamphlet?
No, I do not want one, and... What have I told you about preaching inside my town?
I seem to have forgotten. You must forgive me. I'm an old vampire. It's so difficult. The mind is so dusty. Perhaps you could remind me, but gently with words.
Yes, a gentle reminder. I said, stop this now, or I should take your throat, so you can no longer wang the dang tongue of yours across my town and cause people to turn towards something unnatural.
I slowly walk down off the wall, and I fasten my tie and I gulp a bit. Well, I will certainly heed your advice, O Lord. Definitely, I have heard you. Certainly. I'm like looking at everybody else like, he doesn't like me.
Sorry to everyone else. Where are my manners? I am Lord Tibario Shorn, Lord of Ashburn, since it's in its founding day. Welcome to my town. Tell me, how do you all know Lady Talon?
I think Indrasa will step forward. A pleasure to meet you, Lord Sean, Lady Indrasa Evalis. We have recently met Lady Ash, and would also like to travel to the vault. We have some common interests.
Interesting. What is it about this vault I don't know? Relics, you say? Interesting. And your intentions with the Watchers of the Fog? I take it, if they get in your way, deal with them.
It's not our first intention, but yes.
Well, rest assured, they are good for coin, but I don't protect them. However, giving you something to get yourselves to the vault would go against my very pocket. And would go against my intentions. However, I do need something that needs doing inside my town. Something that needs a little bit of a gentle touch.
No.
You help me with a matter, and I will help you. He wanders in and sits at a vacant chair. You can see he kind of uses like a telekinesis to draw a glass over towards the spinning vial and pour some blood into it. And he
Nibbles
purposely, he purposely drifts it close to
recoils
you,
when he does it.
and then drifts it back towards him.
Wow.
And he drinks from it. Human, my favorite. Places it on a table
Like
beside him.
You can see the Nibbles is trying not to say something. He's like, his old face is all scrunched up like an old man, and he's got like a furrowed brow. He's looking at him. He's just like really mad.
There is a family here inside my town that irks me. And recently, they have had some... They've been welcoming more guests, organizing something. I don't know what they're doing, they're up to something. I need good reason to suspect them of being up to something. I want reason for them to be my enemy. Find out what they're up to. And I might be able to help you.
All right. Who is this family?
House Uneran. They are also from Tel Revere, as I was, many years ago, though they moved much later. They were once a tax collector for Tel Revere. Would come here to demand my tax go back towards the city. Eventually, when they stopped doing their business, they bought property here. I need them gone. Do this. I hope you get across that vault. Is there anything else you need?
I don't think so. You've been most helpful, Lord.
Yes. He looks to you, Cyrus. And tell me, how much would you like for that sword of yours?
I sort of look. You sort of see like I grip the handle of the sword like a little tighter, and a sort of like pained expression comes across Cyrus's face, and he says, "Believe me, to part with this sword would be a great pleasure, but it is not for sale."
If you change your mind, I'd be a very worthy buyer. Well, if there's nothing else. Lady Taryn, it is interesting to see you break apart from your family. Pursue matters on your own.
At some point, it must be done. I cannot idle in libraries forever, as much as I would love to. But I appreciate you seeing us, Lord Oshorn, especially on such no notice. Your time is valued, so thank you.
I appreciate you. And if you do continue to do business and such alike, perhaps I'll have work for you myself. There's business that I'm interested with.
Of course, I will look forward to hearing from you in that regard.
Good. Very well. When it is done, come back, and I shall grant you the means to get across the Wistlight Woods.
Right.
He leans back, puts his glass in his lap, and drinks from it, looks towards you, nibbles, and goes, "And you can have a glass on the way out if you like, my friend."
I certainly appreciate your generosity, but I'll have to pass. I'm sure you can drink all of it yourself.
Oh, I can.
That's wonderful for you. I love that for you, my dear lord.
Yes, well. Tries to like usher nibbles out.
I curmudgeonly start to wobble along, and I'm like muttering under my breath, like, "Oh, well, unbelievable, so rude."
Okay.
Okay.
As we exit the mansion, I'd like to walk up next to Lady Taryn, and I'd start to like nudge her and go, "Lady Taryn, if I may, oh my lady, my so beautiful lady, absolutely gorgeous. Perhaps the next time you speak to the Lord, you could perchance bring up the idea of maybe lowering the taxes on blood, and maybe you could carry this." And I offer her one of my damp little pamphlets.
Pamphlet.
Aaron will accept the pamphlet, and then she'll just give Nibbles a smile and say, "If there is any way that I could help the people not be so burdened by tax, I would love to. If I, but there is..."
Consider pigs. They're a wonderful alternative. They have many health benefits for vampires. I'll have you know that pig's blood, it has many things, digestive benefits, complexion benefits. It is a delightful substitute, and it only results in some minor wilting of the skin and a paler complexion, and hair loss as well, but that's not so bad.
Andrasa just looks over at Carlisle like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nibbles is actually 26 years old. Yeah, you can head on away from the manor being kind of left out to go towards the town. But the question is your intention to follow through with the Lord or pursue the Shadowhook another way? Or look around elsewhere?
Folks, how we all feeling about that?
Not great.
Because
Fuck that
I'm
guy.
Not great on that either.
Yeah,
The
agree.
sabotage
the
tax
little spring
collectors.
cleaning.
We are essentially being now. Maybe I'd feel a little bit better. I know I'm quite capable of a covert operation, but I don't know about the rest of you. Well, I know about two of you, and it's not looking good. The rest of you, though,
No offense taken.
are any of you experienced in sneaking around at all?
I pull my cloak above my like long wrinkled nose to act a little like sneaky. I go, "Why, yes, I'm quite the stealthy master. I'm a creature of the night, after all."
I feel like if I asked you to inhale enough, I would hear your rib cage crack from around the corner.
How about
Oh, you're right.
who is this house? Unerin, do any of you know who they are? What
I was
is it?
gonna say, do I would I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
them?
I'll give you. You'll get general information just because you've lived here your whole life and been in the noble scene anyway. Give me an advantage history check though. This can give you some more.
You
about
got
the
this.
family.
Advantage, huge.
Do I just roll history twice, or is there a way to do it?
Yeah,
there should be an advantage
at
toggle up the top
of the sheet
Yeah. Click that and then
where
do
it
it.
says advantage, normal, disadvantage.
You see it right in the middle. Do you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, advantage history check, you said?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Let's go,
It's gonna
baby.
be like, it's not bad.
17's not bad. Yeah. You have. You would know the general gist of them that they moved probably about a decade ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. They are a rich kind of out-of-town family. It's a half-orc. In particular, it's mostly... Inurin is mostly this one half-orc. You would have known them since they moved here, but his wife is a human. He's a vampire. And his wife is elderly, like probably in her 80s now. Sixth wife. He marries kind of mortals and kind of passes them by. But you'd probably know of Tower of It. Tower of It is the vampire capital towards the south. It's many weeks to the south. A much bigger city, one of the biggest cities in the Shadowfell. And this is one of the kind of tax collector families from there. And that's initially where Tibario Sean came from, is Tower of It. So it's kind of these out-of-towners that have kind of a crueler disposition to them. They're very much they're considered quite mean, quite rude to other nobles. Tower of It has literal human farming, where they will farm humans for their blood, as opposed to just taking tax blood from them. And they have kind of warped older views of that. They kind of look down on Ashburn. They see it as kind of, we're moving to the more primitive town. So they're quite a rude family. But yeah, that's probably what you'd know of them, as they don't have the greatest reputation around here. But they do have a lot of money.
I suspect that from the material plane, you hear family, you think like children, you think like, bloodlines and gentleness, family. But these are not... They're a noble family, which I speak as a noble. They are not of Ashburn. They're from the South Town. And I kind of like give the summary you gave to me, I give to the party to help decide. So I don't suspect it will be so easy. At first I thought he was asking us to get dirt, and then it sounds like he wants us to do more. So
Yes.
Yeah, the problem with even just getting dirt is that we are not being assured any kind of security if things go south. And we were told to not really,
Yes,
we have
in
a bad
fact,
habit in general.
it sounds like he's enlisting our services purely because it wouldn't come back to him.
Yeah, makes me lean more towards the creature to the south than trying to infiltrate and get dirt on a family here.
I must admit, it would be nice to see that family go. Their views on humans are far, far ancient than this town. And, well, I don't think I do very much in Tel Revere. They are. There's a reason that I'm not there and I'm here. The Lord will at least allow me to put my pamphlets up every once in a while. In Tel Revere, they'd probably kill me.
yeah, they would have.
Yes.
They'd farm everyone else, it sounds like. Right. I do think... I don't know. He sounds a bit unsavory, and we are on a bit of a... I don't know how much the three of you know. We've got a time frame, rather. Right. So I think if this was a sort of infiltration to gather intelligence on a noble and disgrace them, that's going to probably take a little bit of time. Unless we walk right in and there's some sort of horrible, murder party, something going on, and we can, just say, oh my gosh, look, it's right there. But perhaps one of the other options then may be a bit quicker.
Yeah, my logic is that even the fog cultists, we are not 100% sure if they're here right now. That may also be a bit of a process to tail them, getting information on them, kidnap one, convince them of anything one way or another. We know that creature to the south. We know how to find it, and we have relatively effective ways of dealing with it. Probably a little bit more upfront dangerous, but maybe a good chance to see how all of us actually handle fighting together.
I would have to agree. We are hired muscle after all.
I've got
Seems
quite
like
the
the best
muscles
way to go.
myself. I flex my tiny little frail arms. These are more than capable of dealing with any beast of the Shadowfell.
Right.
Do you punch things?
Oh, well, I suppose I could. I flex my knuckles. But I actually use this, and I pick up my little walker cane, and I flick the little bulb at the top of it, and my cane rapidly extends like a machine into a long, like, whacking stick. I go, I use this.
Oh, all right. A long stick. Excellent.
It is more dangerous than it initially appears. You can tell I'm a little
Morgane
off
will lean
balance
into
without my
Carlisle
stick.
and be like, what did he do?
He turned his walking apparatus into a cane.
I'll tell you
Of
this,
some kind.
Morgane, it is magical. You can see it as it's gleaming with kind of the white magic.
Would it always have been, or only when he opened it?
Yeah. It was technically magical from the get-go.
So I saw this guy had a magical walker.
A magic walker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are the tennis balls on the bottom also magic, or are they?
Probably not.
Ah, those I got at the Goodwill.
It's like a
Shadowfell Goodwill.
bloodborne trick weapon, but it's an old man walker.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So, I guess we're saying, bodak. It is that. Wait a minute. Sorry, Lady Taryn. Will it matter for you? Will the Lord be cross with you at all if we don't follow through on this suggestion of his?
I don't suspect what happens after the vault opens is of much concern, given that we are hired muscle as discussed. So whatever actions are taken that is not on you, I will handle it myself.
Right.
But I will extrapolate. I think that there is a Ashburn may not, if Tel Rever does successfully infiltrate and then take over Ashburn, then there is much concern there.
Yes, I should think so.
But
I also
Alright.
believe that we might not have done the best idea of drawing the Lord's eye over to the vault. He seemed interested in the relics.
Yeah,
I felt
there's
the
only
same
at
way.
max 2 relics in there again.
Yes, and they are
I-
currently spoken for.
Yes, the previous
To go-
vaults we visited were very scarce of loot. If we're being
Yes.
honest with you, entirely honest.
Lots
So
of
I'm
puzzles.
not particularly
low
worried
loot.
about the Lord.
I would have been more concerned if we took action and killed people on his land without at least consulting with him first. We know he's going to be mad. If we just kill people, he gets no money out of it. But that again is
Yes, well, at least we know he doesn't care much. But I would rather not get caught up in political games for a place I don't plan on sticking around in. So,
understandable.
perhaps we can recon one of these traders, Carlisle, and if not, then let's kill a beast.
Okay.
Okay.
Very well.
So, what are you doing first? You're going to try and look around for a trader, or are you going to try and go out into the looking for a beast?
I mean, right now we have to pass, because we're all the way up at the manor, we have to pass through the whole town really to get to the southern part. So we could probably walk and recon. If we see something, we see something. If not, again, we are on a time limit. We don't really have a lot of time to spend doing anything, I think. So
Tell me what route you take. Like, ping it for me on the map, because it'd probably help.
I'd imagine we'd go kind of like this and pass through the main square area
Okay.
to 5 and then continue south.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
24.
With a third 24.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Can't get lower
love a
than 24 unless I know.
Ah,
It's true, yeah. Rogues are crazy. You wander through the town together, and you're keeping your ear out for anything untoward or anything that's kind of familiar towards the Watchers of the Fog, and you don't pick up anything suspicious. You don't hear anyone talking about them. It doesn't seem to be anything in the wind by the time you get to the gate.
Well, evidently folk around here aren't talking too much about those fog fellas.
They're quite strange people, the fog dwellers. When they come in, most people likely avoid them, unless they got something to buy.
Most people in Ashburn stick to themselves.
In
Fair
that case,
enough.
shall we kill a monster?
Yeah. Just to cover again, this mainly for you, Nibbles. If I were to throw one of these here marbles, and Carlisle will extract one of these glowing, like radiant light marbles out of his hand, out of like a bag.
I shrink away from it. Oh!
If I were to activate this, it would release a pillar of sunlight. Would that immediately disintegrate you? I'm not exactly entirely sure how.
Be in the light or just sort of adjacent near
I rub
it?
my chin, like thinking deeply. Well, based on how long I've been in the Shadowfell, it's been some time since sunlight was a concern. I assume I would scream, my skin would burn off, and I would turn to dust in agonizing pain within seconds.
Do you want to know the mechanical answer for it? If you're inside the sunlight, you'll take 20 radiant damage at the start of each of your turns. So how much health do you have?
Holy
I would last perhaps 3.5 seconds.
Right. Okay. So we will cross that bridge specifically when we get to it. But I promise I will not throw one of these in such a way that it immediately kills you.
Thank you. If you could throw it in such a way as to only partially kill me, I'm already undead. So that would be
Good
ideal.
point.
All right.
All
Right.
So, heading out of the town and into the woods, you enter into the southern woods, walk a little while in there. You realize you start to get kind of the more sparse area of it where kind of the trees are a good like 20 feet apart. It's all dead, kind of broken up trees. The ground like ash, hard to grow on. What do you do? What's your strategy to hunt the creature?
Well, I'm gonna sneak. I don't want to be in the.
Mhm.
I don't want to be in the firing zone when these bozos yell for help and this creature descends upon them and kills them all. So I'm gonna do a 29 sneak.
Okay.
Would anyone like to
stealth as
engage
well.
in a distraction? Perhaps we could lure the beast with the screams of
20 stealth for me.
Nice.
our helping cries.
It's just gonna be Nibbles standing alone in a
Yeah.
field, and we're all
I
just in the
volunteer.
I think
I don't want to be rude, but he is the perfect distraction. For
yes. I think as Nibbles is talking, Andrasa just starts slowing down so that she's getting farther and farther away from him. And Sestina will fly up into the air to kind of do a bit of lookout, so Andrasa can kind of look through Sestina's eyes and see if she sees anything moving. Yeah, so that's her plan, I suppose. Are we
Okay.
stealthing? Is that what we're doing?
You can attempt to stealth if you like. This would be like slipping between trees and hiding behind them.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just see what else.
I will
we
not
got
stealth.
on
I will
here.
walk at the
You're
head
you're
of the
becoming
group
bait,
as
yeah.
the distraction.
Okay,
Yes, I'll be the bait.
Carl's gonna help Morgaine if they try to stealth.
Okay. You gonna try and stealth more game?
Is everyone else doing it?
Everyone else but Nibbles currently, it seems like maybe trying to stealth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
can
be the
try.
bait. I'll try to lure it out.
I am not great, but
I was gonna try and help be bait.
You can
You
do
can if
that.
you'd like.
You can absolutely.
Say, my lady, please join me. We will make excellent bait, an old man and a woman. We will surely.
sorry. How dense are the woods? Like, and how tall are the trees?
At this section of it, not that dense. Maybe a tree every like 15 to 20 feet. But they're probably a good like. They range between probably 20 and 40 feet. They're quite tall, broken up branches.
Okay.
Okay.
Mayhaps I would be best as bait, friends.
If you would like to be, you seem rather strong.
Well, I'm not the stealthiest, and if it truly has a gaze of death, I fear. Why not be blind?
You're blind?
Oh, quite, yes.
I like quietly try to like step to the side of Morgaine.
Morgaine follows you.
No, I'm over here. I don't even know. I'm just like, I'm over here. Did you see that? Oh, I guess you
Yes.
wouldn't. Oh, I slightly moved to the side again.
I know where you are.
That's very impressive.
Okay. Taryn, you also being bait?
Yeah, I was gonna
Above
help.
board.
Just
I don't
shout.
know if you guys want to be bait to this.
I can close my eyes.
Okay, it's more like I have a -1 dex, so I will fail any stealth check. Period.
Yeah. If he doesn't have help, he's basically doing.
So if you guys can roll good stealth, it might be beneficial to do that.
I can
don't
try.
If not, come
Well,
join me.
I could try to.
in,
I could try to
If you want
stealth.
to try,
On the dinner plate.
Carlisle will help you, and you'll have advantage.
I'll just.
Well, I would like to be on the dinner plate because I'd like to be up close.
Okay.
I don't.
I'll,
So I'm gonna. I'm just
I'm
seeing if
gonna-
I have anything to help stealth. Hang on.
I'll accept the free out, and I'll poddle away.
You can roll again. Help
You can
okay.
you can close your eyes, by the way, but if you do so for the entirety of your turn,
Oh.
at the start of each of your turns, when you close your eyes, you do have disadvantage on attack rolls against the creature. So.
Okay, I'm just gonna stealth with my 16.
18.
Okay.
And then, like I said, I want to kind of use Sestina to look down and see if I spot any movement or anything.
Okay. You go ahead and roll a perception check for Sestina.
Oh shit! I closed her thing. Hang on. Actually, she's really bad at perception. Oh, 'cause she doesn't have the thing, so.
And then-
Standby, please.
Morgaine, how do you do your bait? Yeah,
How do I do my bait?
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
your
what's your bait sound like?
I'm yelling help.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
go on.
Well, Discord will probably,
You think you'll break?
and then it'll be embarrassing.
Wing it.
I kind of like the risk of that though. It's kind of funny.
Help!
That was good. That was good. Okay. Give me a performance
And then
check.
she'll like nudge Nibbles as well to assist. Yeah, I'll do a performance.
Yeah, I'll give
Okay,
you.
I will happily assist
Do one as well, Nibbles.
if I can. Okay, a performance check. Got it. Bop, 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 bop. I rolled a 12.
You maybe Nibbles more so than you. To everyone else around you,
Being utterly unconvincing at yelling for help.
Morgan might have
help,
never
oh no.
shout help, right? So it's
Yeah.
almost like pantomime levels.
Help me!
Help me! Funny enough, the creature did not roll very high insight, so it believes it. And Sestina, with that, does not see it skulking by until it's kind of already in the area. I'm going to move you guys to the battle map as the bodak closes in, and you would see as these two shades kind of split off from it as it gets closer to both of you. You'd be starting your turn like here as it kind of wanders in there.
That's where us baitlings are.
Yeah, right in the center of the map. Everyone else can be around like the trees and hide in there and kind of behind the trees anywhere you want to be on the map. But the baitlings are kind of semi-close here. I'll move these guys down a little bit to give you guys more room. But this is where you'll begin the fight. And I'll tell you this, as it wanders into the area, it immediately gets startled as it sees every single person hiding. As I roll, a nat 20 on the perception check. And so it scans across and sees all of you. Kind of, it's like almost its most heightened form. So I'm going to put the initiative order down. We're going to roll initiative as we start this fight with the bodak.
God, I
Joe,
love
I did
my
have a
initiative
thing for me
every
here.
single session for years.
Hold on.
I love it.
How do I get my
On
little
trying to detect
token?
with perception, he rolls
Do I just
disadvantage.
drag it?
You can drag it from
Wait,
the
wait,
right.
wait.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hold on. One conversation at a time, everyone. Let's go tomato because I know you were asking something first.
He rolls disadvantage on detecting Carlisle while he's attempting to sneak because of my cloak.
Is that right? Then he wouldn't detect you.
Slammed.
He wouldn't detect you. It's only gonna be disadvantage against you, right?
Only disadvantage against
Okay.
me.
He got a nat 20 and a 4, so he doesn't see you. So everyone else he would see. Sorry, Candy, what were you saying?
I was saying, how do I get my little token?
Oh, you go to your character page,
Uh-huh.
drag your name onto the board.
Oh.
So drag your little icon. There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
you got
I am.
it. There you go.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then when you roll initiative, you want to click on
I
your
blend
icon
in.
and then click the roll initiative.
Yeah.
If you've already done it, don't worry, I can add you onto it. You'd see he's got these like shades that like shimmer out from him. They must follow him. Almost manifesting from his shadow.
God, I've got to take this and die. Okay.
Let's see. What do you got? 1, 2. I see 3 of us on the board. As the others just not gone through. Cyrus is 1. No, there. See you. See 4.
Sorry.
Just need Carlisle and then. Crumpet, you rolled initiative, right? It just didn't count it. Let me just.
Yeah.
I'll put you
Oh,
on.
I did it too early. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No,
I
I'll
don't
put you on.
see Crumpet's token on the map.
Oh yeah. Do you want to
Oh,
drag
yeah.
your
Same.
token?
Oh,
I'll
I'm
give you your
sorry.
initiative that you
Yeah.
rolled. You got 16.
Yeah, my bad. How do I drag a token? I
Just
haven't used Roll20 in a while.
like drag your sheet onto the map, basically.
With the
Okay.
link you used to open your sheet, yeah.
Mhm.
I just drag
Where
that
your,
onto...
where your little character name is in the book tab.
Okay.
Drag your name and your icon like onto the map.
Oh. I'm clicking it. I'm dragging it. It's not moving though.
It's not moving.
Not the picture,
Yeah.
but the words.
Yeah, the word. Try the word.
Oh, okay.
Just drag. There you go. You got
Oh,
it.
there I
Nice.
am.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. It was the word. I was clicking the picture. My bad.
And then
And I'm right next to
yourself. Yeah, you're like
Morgan.
over.
Yeah, you'll be next
right
to
there.
Morgan.
Okay.
Uh,
Perfect.
And then click yourself and go to your character sheet and
I've-
right in
I've-
the top middle there's
I've already done the
Oh, you did
initiative
it?
because otherwise they
Okay.
would have lost their 16. So I'll ask you this:
Mhm.
Who's closing their eyes?
I will be closing my eyes.
Okay, you're gonna have disadvantage on your attack rolls during your turn. Every turn you close your
And
eyes.
I
Okay.
think Andrasa would close her eyes because she was concerned about a death gaze.
Okay. You just bear in mind any spells you have that require sight, you won't be able to use. Okay, and it's not a case of like flicking it open during your turn. That will count as.
welcome to my world.
This is a.
Is it, sorry, if I say, sorry, I just want to make sure I get this right. If I close them now, they're closed the entire fight.
turn,
I can't open them
No,
later.
you could open them on your turn, but the idea is like you can't just be like, I quickly
Yeah,
open them, shoot a spell, close them. It's going to be a case
Yeah,
of like
yeah,
that's.
no, it's
You
good.
choose it as
Her
good.
eyes are closed for now.
Yeah, okay. Then it's going to be disadvantage during your turn if you're entering it into it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, then straight away at the beginning, as you see them kind of rushing through the woods, you guys are prepared for a fight here, as you know that they're coming. You would see these two shades breaking off of a bodak, humanoid figure, tall, long mouth. Although you don't see that. You don't know what this creature is running towards you. But there is something coming out of the woods. You can hear it. It's moving your way. What do you want to do, Nibbles?
All right. Okay. I will. Let's see. Oh goodness, how far away is that?
From you right now, it is
30 feet.
30 feet.
Okay, I will step behind Morgane. I'll wait for it to close in, and I'll cast invisibility on myself. So I'll be behind her,
Okay.
and I'll say, "Oh, that sounds much scarier than I thought." Then I snap my fingers, and I go invisible, and I step behind you.
Okay. You are considered invisible. You can move your token about, by the way. That's if you want to move around yourself to wherever
Okay.
you want to go.
I will go right behind Morgane, and I will await the approach of the beast, or perhaps I will follow Morgane, depending on what she does.
Sounds good. Indressa.
Okay. Let me just check the, sorry, I was checking distance on something and then I clicked away. All right. What is that, a tree? It's a tree.
Yeah, these are just trees.
My eyes are closed. If I can, it doesn't really matter for this turn, but if I can, for her bonus action, she would look through Sestina's eyes. But if that's power gaming being shitty, then I won't do it. Doesn't really matter.
I mean, you could attempt it. I'm not going to tell you what happens either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Sam, is that
But
what
I
you
don't
did?
need to. I'm not going to for right now because I don't need to. I'm gonna cast slow because I don't have to see them.
Slow, you don't have to see them? Okay.
No. So she's gonna try to slow them. Slow them.
Okay.
They just have to be. It's a 40-foot cube within range. It's 120 feet. So.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. It's just a 40-foot cube. It's going to be wisdom saves off them.
Yeah. It's supposed to be 17.
Okay. All right. All three fail. All three are considered slowed. As you pass out, you hear this kind of ticking sound, and then they all just start moving much slower. Okay.
Okay. And then I think she'll sort of reach out her hand to the kind of tree or whatever that she's next to and just sort of step behind it.
Okay.
So, I don't know, I guess I'll move like that. And that is her turn.
Okay. Carlo.
Carlisle is going to come around the corner. He is going to attack from stealth with his short bow at this creature
Okay.
with a cunning strike.
Go for it.
That is a 21 to hit
Hits.
for 22 damage.
22 damage. Okay, very nice.
And, I am also going to. You're within Sam. Does more? I can't actually remember. Morgaine doesn't have a way to know where this thing is yet, right?
No.
Shit.
Not until it's
Me
within
neither.
blind sight. Also, is your
Sorry,
bow
no,
magical?
not unless it's magical.
No, not native.
I'll call it out if it matters. I am going to try to do something. I'm going to try to knock it prone.
Okay. Is your bow magical, by the way?
No.
Okay, so it only take half damage because it's resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing for non-magicals.
Cool,
But
cool.
then, what do I roll for the other one?
DC 17. Let me check the save.
Is it
Sorry, I never use this
probably
one.
strength? I imagine.
Dexterity saving.
Okay, dexterity. Okay. DC 17. 13. It gets knocked prone.
Okay.
It falls to the ground, and it's considered prone. Nice.
Creatures downward just made that horrible thumping sound, Morgaine.
And then Carlisle's going to get back around the corner, and I'm going to stealth again from now. 30.
Okay. All right. Nice. Then it is Taryn's turn. You just heard the thump of it. Are you closing your eyes?
I am behind the tree facing the other direction currently.
Yeah. Okay. Did you close your eyes during your turn?
I've broken line of sight because I've sneaked and I'm behind cover.
Did you close your eyes during your turn?
I did not because I'm...
You started with your eyes open, right? And then you closed
My eyes
them.
have been open from the start.
Okay.
I was sneaking. The creature didn't know I was there, so I didn't need to close my eyes.
It's not whether it sees you, it's whether you see it. Can you make a con save for me, please?
Okay.
It says when a creature that can see the
Is
bodak's
there a
eyes.
range to this, or is it just the whole map?
60 feet.
Okay. 19.
You're fine. You withhold against it. You don't get affected by it. But Taryn, are you closing your eyes?
No.
Okay. Are you within 60?
I'm checking.
Yes. Could you please roll a Constitution saving throw?
I believe in you.
Oh, why not? This can only...
You got this.
Let me... That's bad.
Oh gosh.
But-
Holy.
But
Does that take me down to 0?
It would drop you to 0.
But I have strength of the grave.
You do have strength of the grave. So you would look upon
Get
this bodak,
fooled.
and your just whole mind warps, and you fall down to the ground, like unconscious to that point, and then suddenly the power comes back into you. And strength of grave, off the top of your head, it does. How much does it heal for?
It's 20 plus my hit points level, but I have to make a charisma saving throw. But do you want me to? So should I do that?
Is that still in there? Because I don't know if I took that bit out because it felt like it was old-fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Okay. Well then, so
it should just work when you go down 0. You drop to 0, you get the 20 plus how much? Was it plus your?
my
check.
it says level hit points.
Yes, your level. Yeah. So it'll be 20 plus 9. So you get 29 hit points back. So you drop down to 0, and then you suddenly get back up again with the full 29. You still have your turn. You still technically have your turn, and you can keep your eyes open.
Because I just was like, there's every chance that was gonna happen. Okay. So I have this weird moment where I'm like dead, and I'm like, wait, no, I'm good still.
Yeah.
And I used my bonus action. Can I bonus action like still have a regular turn?
Yeah, because it technically happens that you start your turn.
Okay, cool. What a great turn. So I'm gonna use my bonus action to activate my innate magic innate.
Okay.
So I get advantage on spell throws, and then I also spells, and then I get +1 to my DC.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's gonna go down to 1, and then I'm gonna use Phantasmal Force. So Nibbles went invisible, right? That was their move.
Yes, I'm invisible. I'm right behind Morgane.
I want to create an illusion of Nibbles that is kind of going to be focused on if I can, the enemy, like just within that range. So they have to. So it's concentration per minute. So essentially, I'm reconstructing from memory the vampire Nibbles to just kind of run around them and distract them, essentially.
Is it? I have a question. You're doing it from memory. Is it more pathetic than current Nibbles, or is it like okay?
It's like exaggerated. It's like got a pamphlet in its hand. It's like trying to give like the
This is all
creature
of
a pamphlet.
Nibble's worst traits exaggerated.
Like dusty and falling to pieces, like fingers
God,
are
is that
falling
what you
off.
see me?
Yeah. So it has to
Oh, who is that
be.
handsome fella?
Yeah, it has to beat an 18, I think, on an intelligence saving throw.
Okay, intelligence saving throw 18.
Oh, baby.
It fails.
Smart beast.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
No. The creature fails. The creature fails. You succeed.
Yeah, no, I knew that, but
Yeah.
no, I hope so. Now, just to clarify, I have a minute of advantage. Is there a way that I can track that, or is it just kind of like?
I don't know. I didn't really set up in your sheet to do that. So I guess we'd have to
10 turns.
Every turn is 6 seconds. Candy.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so I'll just
10 turns.
rounds.
Yeah.
turns. So you just keep track of your turns.
Cool. All right, I'll do that then. All right. So I guess like I go down, wake up, spawn a Nibbles clone, and then I'm like, and that's my turn.
Good turn.
Okay. The shades on their turn are going to move forward. They don't have much movement. How much is it? Half? 25 feet they've got. These, you're still hiding, technically, Cyrus, because these guys didn't see you. Only the bodak saw you. So they're going to go...
Whereabouts is the Nibble clone? Would they see?
Yeah,
it?
I was gonna say it would have. I'm trying to remember Phantasmal Force.
Oh.
It lasts for a minute and it takes up a 10-foot cube. But it's
Oh, that
Nibble,
only
so
affects the primary guy, though, right? Yeah.
yeah.
You
it's
can put
like
it anywhere within 60 feet of you when you conjure the illusion.
You could draw a little art one if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wait, can I just grab my? Oh no. Oh, is there like a? Let's see. Can I grab like? Is there another picture that I could use for the?
Yeah, I'll do this. Hold on. I'll give you another little Nibbles there. We'll just have this one without the bag.
Excellent.
Where would you like to put it?
Yeah, I guess where Nibbles was is probably because if
Okay.
they're going to be rushing
Was it
in,
there? He
then
was
that
there,
makes
right?
sense.
Yeah, I would
Yep,
say one of the
that's where I was.
shades is Oh, who did you cast Phantasmal Force on? Does it only work on one person, or is it work on all of them?
You mess with someone's mind to create a
Only-
10-foot illusion.
Yeah, it's only one
Only
creature.
the Bodak would know about it, so these two shades are going to go after you, Morgaine.
Yeah.
They fly in there. They're going to go for little strikes. They go for some life drain grips. Okay. 7 does not hit.
Misses.
And 15
Misses.
also misses. You see both of them kind of grip out towards you. You manage to duck and dive out of the way. Okay. That's all they can do. Cyrus, you got your eyes open or closed?
I would have my eyes open because I was on the assumption that I was stealthed, but then he saw me.
That's fair. Then can you make a con save, please?
Yes, I will. A Constitution save. That is a 21.
Dick,
You're
dude.
hold off against it. You're good.
All right. Setup turn for me. I am going to use one of my Eldritch Invocations, Fiendish Vigor. I can cast False Life on myself without expending a spell slot, and when I do so, I don't roll the dice. I automatically get the highest number, so I get 12 temp HP.
I think more than that. It takes your highest spell slot.
Does it go to the highest spell slot? Because I
It
wasn't
does now,
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
makes
an
a lot
updated
stronger.
one then.
20, 27?
So
Yeah.
I should gain an extra,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
huge.
27 temp HP.
That's the thing they took out of the old version is the lowest level spell slot. It just takes you to the highest one now. Yeah, it's
That's
a very
crazy.
good spell.
Even if it's not a,
It's so
even if
good.
it doesn't use a spell slot, that's crazy.
It's huge.
All right, then that is huge. And as my bonus action, I am going to put Hexblade's Curse on the bodak,
Okay.
and I'm gonna move.
Curse goes on.
Like, I'm gonna move my 30 feet like this way.
All right. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
The bodak starts its turn on the ground. It's going to have to use its entire movement speed to get up. Which it does on its feet. And it's then going to... It's only got one range attack at the moment, so it's going to use Withering Gaze right on you, Cyrus, as you're running towards it. Can you make a Constitution saving throw as it tries to try and wither you?
I will. I'm going to spend a luck point to give myself advantage on this one.
Okay.
Because I got the lucky feat. That's a 19.
Odds of against it. You take half as much on a success, apparently, which is 10 points. 10 points of necrotic damage as it kind of withers into you, but you hold off against the kind of major portion of it. It's also going to activate its aura, which is a little 5-foot aura around it as a bonus action. Aura of Annihilation.
Oh, that sounds scary.
Yeah. And that is its turn. Morgaine.
If I push forward, everyone else is gonna get fucked by shades. So, Morgaine will.
One sec, Morgaine.
What?
Let me just double check the shades have a little feature on them. Yes. Oh, no. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Morgaine, after evading the two blows, will grab the symbol of the Dreadvault and begin to glow. I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good on myself. And then I think I'll just step between them.
Okay.
Try and have them face Morgaine.
Okay.
And I think that's my turn. I can't really do a bonus action. Yeah.
All right. Top of the round, Nibbles. Have you got your eyes open?
Alrighty. No, I have my eyes closed.
Okay.
Yes. So I will listen for the attacks against Morgaine from these shades, and I will do my absolute best to strike out with my magical cane. I'll fucking whoosh, flip my little walker cane into its big old stick form, and I go, "Hi ho! I break my invisibility to strike against you, foul creature!" And I try to thwap the shit out of the shade next to Morgaine. Okay, so I click.
If you click in the middle, I've set up
Cane,
all your
right?
weapon and stuff. Yeah, so you'd be able to click the word cane.
Yes, I got it. So I click the cane, and then I'm a fighter, so I attack at 9 level twice, 3 times. How does it?
You have 2 attacks right now, but you could just spend the first one to see if how much damage
Okay,
it does.
well I try to thwap the creature. Oops, I didn't roll the hit. Sorry.
No, that is
I
roll to hit.
probably
That is roll to
didn't
hit. So
okay.
that is an 18. Is the roll to hit, and then if you click the word
Okay.
cane, because it does hit, that will roll the damage for you in the chat.
Oh, dude, this is so much more advanced. Okay, I
There you
rolled an
go.
8.
They have exactly
So I will
8
thwap
HP.
it.
So you use your first attack, you come out of his wall and just go, you see this shade and just like shatter and just break apart. That
I
one's
appear
dead.
out of my invisibility. Whoa! And then, can I move in between attacks, or is it just like all the attacks at once?
You can move your
Okay.
movement and you can do your bonus action any order you want.
All right, I will move to the next shade next to Morgaine, and I will strike it with my cane, attempt to at least once again. So
Okay.
I raise my magical cane, and then whoa, let me get my character sheet out. Whoa. I attempt to thwap it once more. Okay, I rolled a 19.
Hits. Go ahead and click the cane button again to see the damage.
9 damage.
You come out, you smack your cane around both of them, smashing and shattering both shades right in front of you.
Like a karate master, this ancient, decrepit vampire looking so evil and weak suddenly moves like Yoda from episode 2 in the Clone Wars. And I fucking flip out going, whoa, and I whack both the heads of the shades and disperse them instantly.
Morgaine, like sword raised, will just lower sword and be like, I am impressed.
I try to wink, but my eyes are closed, so I don't. I just like turn her. I just
Squeeze
nod, I
them
guess.
harder.
You like do the
harder.
thing with your head, but the eyes are closed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then I guess let's see. I have a bonus action.
You still have I think you
that's
still got
movement.
30 feet of movement. And you still have a bonus action, but I don't know if there's anything you can really spend on right now.
Yeah, not a lot I can do right now as a bonus action. Okay, I will use my movement after nodding to Morgaine, and I will walk, hobbling my best, 25 feet towards where I hear Cyrus and the creature. I do, like wherever I think that is, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, you would be able to hear the fighting going on at least, so you'd be able to move down that way. And you know the
Okay,
general
so each,
direction?
it's
Every
Yes,
square
I'd
is
like
5
to-
foot, Crump.
okay. So
So
be
you can
5.
just pop it out.
Can I go diagonal?
Yeah.
Okay, so 5,
You can make it to it.
10, 15.
If you
20.
right click while dragging your token, it creates a ruler.
Oh my gosh, this is so advanced. It's sick. Okay, I'll stop right next to Cyrus, but I want to be outside the creatures. Oh, wait, can I use Tactical Mind as a bonus action?
Ooh.
Yeah,
What is
yeah. You can. That gives your next attack
I would
roll.
like to. Ooh, but do I need to see the creature in order to use Tactical Mind, like in order to analyze it?
Good question. What does it say in the description?
Let me find Tactical
Is
Mind.
that for you as well? Tactical mind.
Let's see.
When you fail an
there it
able
is.
check,
Oh,
expend the
you
use of your
no,
second
you
wish.
mean know your enemy, right? Know your enemy.
Oh yeah, know your
is-
enemy is what I'm looking for.
It says a creature you can see within 30 feet. Yeah.
Pippa.
Okay, yeah, I don't use that then. That's my turn.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll
Keep my
for
eyes
to see the
shut.
slow stayed on. By the way, OG. 17. What's the DC?
17.
Okay, so the slow is gonna break. So he managed to break the slow. But it is your turn. Are you eyes closed, eyes open?
Broke the slow. I guess I would know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Feel it in the force.
I would feel it in the force. I think what I'm gonna do is with my action, I'm going to use Distorted Self
Okay.
and superimposed over Indrasa, you see that sort of hag kind of Fey Andrasa so that she gets increased movement and a hover speed.
Okay.
And then she's gonna put her hand over her head, so she didn't hit any branches on the way up. And I'm gonna fly up 30 feet.
Okay.
Sorry, 40 feet rather.
40 feet. Okay.
So that's my action, and then that's just set me up for the next turn. I don't have a bonus action I can use, and I think Sestina probably just follows her up. I mean, she was already about 30 feet up, so she just kind of bobs up as well.
Okay. Carla.
Carlisle is going to close his eyes at the start of this turn.
Okay.
I'm going to use my action, or my bonus action, to dash in from sneaking.
Okay.
I'm going to attack, canceling out my disadvantage with this. Cunning Strike.
Sounds good.
My spear. So that is a 25 to hit.
25 hits.
This is magical. So 27 damage.
Okay, 27 points
actually,
of damage.
24 are immune to poison. Which
Holy.
It is immune to poison, yeah. So 24 points of
and
damage.
I'm going to use my cunning action to move half my movement speed back this way
Okay.
and leave sneak.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. I can tell you, by the way, he is bloodied. He's not the healthiest of fellows.
Hey.
Taryn, is your turn. You close your eyes, open your eyes.
I'm actually just gonna step back. Exactly one square, maybe two, feeling free, and then I'm out of range now. That's all it took. I think I can use a bonus action to move the phantasmal force. I can just move it per turn,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let me check it. Yeah, if it says it in the spell, go for it.
I don't know if it says it, but I was under the impression that it could move.
Let me double check. While they affected the spell, treats as if it was real. It might not be able to move. It can do each round of your turn. It can do 1d6 psychic damage to target if it's in its area within 5 feet. I don't think
Just
it
a phantasmal nibbles just chilling. Well,
yeah.
that's fine.
Leaning jauntily on his walker.
Yeah, I was just hoping that it would distract it in terms of wanting to do the gaze as like an extra, like a fake target. So if it from that angle, yeah. But I'm just gonna do guiding bolt, but I'm gonna cast it. Can I cast it 2 levels up?
Yeah, you can
Just
upcast.
to do it at level 3.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
How do I upcast?
I think if
Do I
you
just-
correct me if I'm wrong on this, guys, you click on the spell
You
and then
click
it
it,
will
a
say
little pop-up
what
will
level
come
do you
up.
want to do it at. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't ask me.
Well, we'll roll it manually. It's fine. So it's 4d6 base, right? And then if you're upcasting it +2, so
Yeah, plus 2d6.
yeah, if you want to roll 66.
66. Now, does this involve the advantage that I got before? Does that get
Oh
messy?
yeah, you're incarnate. Yeah. Roll again, just in case you get a
Heck
crit.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll just do roll 60.
Oh no, roll the gun and bolt again, or just roll a d20, because we'll just add it. Otherwise, it might take up a
Just
spell
in
slot.
case you crit and do more damage, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially, you have a
Okay.
chance of doing 12d6 if you crit.
So what am I rolling?
Just
rolling
cast
in
guiding bolt again.
Just a
That's fine,
d20.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
easiest.
I don't know if ultimate takes it.
Nah.
Okay, so 21, just roll 66. And the next attack roll
Oh, I
against him
see.
has advantage. Yeah, I don't know. Does it automatically expend your spell slots on roll 20 when you roll a spell like that? By pressing it twice.
No.
You mark
Okay.
I
them.
think
you're
you have to
fine.
check
You
the
mark 'em.
box to
Nah,
like.
you got
Okay.
Then you're good. Then you're good.
Just trying to think if there's anything else that I can.
All right, 19 points of... Is that radiant damage? Very nice. Yeah, looks hurt. It gets blasted.
Yep.
back.
Yep. So that was my contribution. I don't think I could do much else.
No, it's good.
No, that's good. Yeah. All right, nice.
Also, I think people have advantage on it. I think.
Yes, yeah. It's now going to next attack roll against it has advantage. So, Cyrus is your turn, but because you've started your turn within his aura of annihilation,
Aura of annihilation. That's fine.
The aura of annihilation, dude.
no, it's actually an end.
Sounds great.
It's an end of your term effect. So you're good. You're good to start.
Perfect. Oh, good.
So
Partial annihilation.
Have fun, but know that the aura of annihilation is
Have a great
coming.
time. I'll see you in 6 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, well then, I guess we gotta make it count then. I am going to attack with my longsword. That is a crit fail. Okay,
Yeah. Oh, no.
very
Miss.
cool.
Annihilation is fucking
Very cool.
Really a little spooky.
However, I have the invocation Thirsting Blade, which means I
do.
gain extra attack with my packed weapon.
Yes.
So I can swing again.
Okay.
And that's a 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
I am going to do
Oh, actually,
15
take it-
damage.
This is your first attack.
oh,
You
wait.
should have had advantage. So, because of the guiding bolt.
Oh,
so
So the guiding bolt.
So this will
Oh,
be your
yeah, I
first
had
one.
advantage because the guiding bolt. Right,
So
okay.
are his eyes open right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Your eyes are open. Can you do the con save first? Sorry, I forgot to ask that.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's a lot.
Because you're running
that's
towards
I
it.
believe in you.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay, nothing changes.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that is 15 plus 4 from Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
So 19 damage. I'm also going to use another invocation to Eldritch Smite. I'm going to expend a pack
Alright.
slot to do 1d8 force damage plus another 1d8 per level of the spell slot. So that's 6d8.
6? My God.
Yeah, well, because it's
Damn,
1d8 plus the
Oh, I
level.
forgot you're level 9. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
oh,
voting
wait.
lost.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
So
right,
my
it's
my
6
slots
for
are
you.
level 5.
Andrasa
So-
just rests.
Yeah, 68 total. And I can give it the prone condition if it's huge or smaller.
Yes, you can.
So roll 68 force damage. That's 23.
Do you want to describe how you kill the creature as you rush up towards it?
I didn't even get a turn.
Oh, Pip.
This is your warm-up fight for the guest appearances.
That's true. That's true. It's for them.
Yeah, so I pull this fucking like emerald spectral blade, my packed weapon out, and I fucking just plunge it into the creature's like chest, and you can see this like ghostly like aura like envelop it and start to suck the life force out of it into the blade.
Yeah.
I kind of go like I go like Shadow of Mordor mode on it.
You can,
That's
as your
sick.
blade goes inside, you can hear this rippling voice in your ear go, "Train, take." And as your blade kind of pulls through, you can see it kind of almost essence is like seeping into the blade, like it's drinking it in. And you see the bodak's mouth, which is already agape, just cracks forward and it collapses. Almost like Obi-Wan in Star Wars, it just kind of falls into like its cloak, but only its mouth exists, and then it kind of crumbles into being shut.
And you're gonna see Cyrus basically try to wrench the blade back out of the creature and like shove it into its sheath.
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
Almost looks like he's fighting with the blade.
You see it kind of ripple in your sheath for a moment and then calm. And you'd see, as we end combat, you can see there on the ground the creature that you've just killed, its shadow breaks forward and it kind of stumbles along and it kind of resembles just this kind of circular shadow, and it diminishes slightly and kind of like hides just behind a tree, kind of almost trying to illuminate this tree's shadow away from you.
Hey there, little fella.
I think Carlisle will try to do a animal handling check to try to get that thing
Okay.
over.
Yeah.
Only an 8. I mean, I could bring it up.
Is it an animal? Can we talk to it?
Is it even?
I'd try and bring it up. That up.
I could bring that up to an 11.
Okay.
A cool 11.
It still tries to hide. It keeps behind the tree. You see it almost merge to try and make it look like it's the tree's shadow.
Could have had that rare use of animal handling.
Can I
Never comes up.
we'll try this. I mean, I don't know if it'll do anything. Andrasa will expend an action to switch forms
Okay.
to the aberration form, and she'll try to like telepathically talk to it, like,
Okay.
hello there. It's all right.
You
We don't want to hurt you.
wouldn't hear a voice back, but it creates like a puppet show for you, but it's shadows, and it kind of you see this
That's so
figure
cute.
appear, and like it sends the image in your mind, and it shows like almost like a humanoid peering from behind a shadow tree, and then it points at the dead body, and hides again.
Okay, I think I'll tell everyone what it does, and I'll slowly approach.
Okay.
Can I
What?
see my own shadow?
Yeah. It hasn't attached
So-
itself to you.
Can I orient, like, is it just looking for a shadow? Can I just orient my shadow so that, like, it has a shadow to go to? Is that what it's trying to,
Is
like...
the body still visible of this
Yeah.
creature?
Body's still visible. You'd have to do an insight check for that, Andressa.
Yeah, I'll
Ascertain its
try.
actions. Also,
wanna-
you're lucky you weren't caught in that an aura of annihilation, because that does 5 damage.
Whoa.
Damn it. It's
It's
only an...
good. You
The
say- you think
ability
it's not-
name was a lot scarier.
Well, you think
Yeah,
it's
right.
Not, you think it's not that scary, but if you get death gazed, it procs
In it.
one
That's true.
failed death save.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
okay.
why
The
it's so
one-two
bad.
punch.
That
Yeah.
what makes the aura.
I only got an insight.
Combo.
She only got an 8 on insight. I think I'll try it anyway, just really slowly, kind of moving towards it.
Okay. What did you want
What's
to do,
it
Morgan?
doing? Morgan's just gonna ask Andrasa if it's doing anything different. After she explained it.
Doesn't try and jump in your shadow.
Morgan's gonna plunge her sword into the body and just pour radiant damage into it
Okay.
to try and destroy it.
Kind of merge it away, burn it away. It kind of looks across. You can see as the body just kind of melts below your blade. It sends an image of just watching and kind of nods its head and then hides again.
Indrasa relays that to the group. I think that's the right track, dear.
And I'm out of ideas now. Should be no longer bound.
Was there something on the bodak that it cares about?
Can I? Oh, go on.
Would you like
No,
to do
go
it?
ahead.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I was just gonna use detect thoughts. Just on the shadow creature.
Okay.
See if I can get some information.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just long description, but that.
Yeah, detect thoughts. Yeah. You start hearing the kind of the surface level thoughts, and you start seeing images as it kind of almost pictures itself, almost like a 2D dancing around shadow puppet show. It's clearly scared. It doesn't really know where it wants to go, what it wants to be. It's been attached to something scary, and it doesn't know if you're friends or foes. So it's kind of in a kind of a fight or flight mode, and it's trying to look for any shadow to go and hide to try and escape everyone because it thinks that you might be coming to kill it.
Oh,
Um,
go ahead, Taryn.
I'll just communicate that I believe it's scared. I think it just wants somewhere to be safe, which Nibbles,
Okay.
you were gonna say something?
Well, I was just curious. I was going to ask Joe, would I know if this is like one of those shadow hooks that you mentioned earlier? Would I like be able to recognize from
Yeah.
living in the town that this is a shadow hook and that
This is a shadow hook.
Okay. So would I know that as like Nibbles?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say, that is a shadow hook. That thing right there, that shadow, it's a shadow hook. It's what
Okay.
we would use to pass through the forest.
Yes, but how do we calm it down?
So Indrasa will kind of try to talk to it again, and I think maybe Sestina slowly kind of like bobs around and she'll say, we don't want to hurt you. We just want to know if you'd like to come with us. You'd be quite safe. It's okay.
Roll a persuasion check.
She's terrible.
I'll give you advantage because you killed the bodak as a group.
Makes sense.
14.
Oh, huge advantage.
Yeah.
Stares curiously. Like you haven't convinced it, but it's not running away from you.
Trust us. I'm not really that convincing, everybody, but it seems quite neutral at the moment. Is there anyone else who thinks they can maybe convince it that we're safe?
Yes, step away.
She backs up.
Morgaine is gonna touch the floor and cast darkness.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then just wait in it.
I'm gonna say give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Yeah. I might do it through Arcana, but we'll just see how you do first.
Sick.
24.
It immediately feels comforted by that. It slips in, and you can see in your mind it's now just total blackness. It's kind of just projecting the idea of being amongst like a massive shadow. And it, for you, Taryn, you'd hear thoughts of safe, 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 safe. Morgaine, you feel something trying to slip into your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you try to resist?
No, I think Morgaine would know what that was, right?
Yeah.
So.
This is some other random.
Hello.
Neville's put another sign on my fucking back.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
let the door
it's just a
open, so,
pamphlet.
You feel the attach.
Yeah, she would just stay perfectly still, so didn't want to spook it.
You feel attach. And it's like this outer body experience, like someone's walked on your grave kind of feeling. And it looms itself onto you, onto your shadow.
I'm done.
Then Morgaine would slowly dissipate darkness.
As you do, your shadow looks normal behind you. And then it reaches down, pulls out the big old shadow sword, and looks up and down, holds out and goes, like nods its head and then puts it back in the sheath, and kind of puts his hands up to kind of almost salute you, and then goes straight back into your shadow. The shadow hook attaching itself to Morgaine.
That's so cool.
There will be some benefits to
GG's.
that, but it is your key across the Wisp Light Woods. With that method acquired, you can now return to the town and take your last preparations before heading to the vault. You now have 3 additional muscle for hire, but all with their own intentions attaching to your group. The vault lies across beyond the fog sea, past the Wisplight Woods, and within it, secrets lost to time, a cult, and a beast. But we'll see what happens next week when we continue our guest spots in the Shadowfell, and we'll end tonight's episode there. Thanks everyone for playing. Welcome to our world, and
So cool.
good job on the fight, everyone. We do have a little bingo, which we have someone done.
Bingo.
Which is always a little fun. Where is it? There it is.
We've only won once in like a year.
You've won a few times.
I think it's been twice.
It's a couple. But to see the bingo, because of all the camera setup stuff, you're gonna have to tune into the stream to see it. But we'll do the bingo, and then we'll quickly we'll do some shouts, and we'll finish up for the night. So
Sounds good.
all right.
Thank you for having us.
No, thank
That's
you.
so fun.
Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
I don't know. I think the bingo was probably made before they saw the guests, so they probably won't know all the details yet. It'll be for next week, the specific ones, I imagine. But we had Indrasa starts beef with guest PC.
What? Come on, y'all.
I don't think
Honestly,
you
it was
necessarily...
such a safe thing to put
I would
on
say that's a
there,
not
but-
yet. title,
Not yet.
'cause it's a not
Yeah,
yet.
she is gonna dislike someone for something. It'll happen.
Someone
It'll
uses the
happen,
word
give it time.
melancholy. I don't think anyone said melancholy.
No, I don't think
Six
so.
member says, I miss X-Pie member. No, they won't miss the
Oh,
tour.
not yet.
That's
They'll
fucked
miss
up.
us next week because we have the
they'll
healer.
be missing us.
They'll be
That's
saying
true.
it next. They'll be saying it next time. Yeah. I miss
Backstory lore
Carlisle
dump.
as they bleed out.
They're dying last session.
I don't think you guys really dumped your backstory. I think you've been quite careful and kept it to yourselves.
Yeah.
Like, having known all your backstories, I feel like there's a lot there still to uncover. So, guest PC has personal tie to a member of the Six? No. 30 plus
No.
ability check? Yes.
Yes.
Multi-class guest
Always.
PC? No.
Every session.
Nat 20. Guest PC
Yeah.
is a small species. Oh, which one? You got?
I
Yeah,
got
you,
that 20, yeah.
you did get that 20. Yeah. Guest PC is a small species.
Yes, we had a halfling.
Actually, what?
That's Nibbles.
No, I think he's just an old man.
Nibbles
Short.
But he's technically,
Nibbles is
he's technically a
hunched
small
over,
human.
and that makes him shorter.
A halfling is medium?
No, was he a halfling originally?
Yeah. No. SciFri is a halfling.
No, I'm a half elf.
Half elf.
Oh boy, this whole time. He's
Oh
been
no,
this
he's
whole
just
time.
picturing a halfling the
He's
whole
been
time.
still
Down
dies.
to the halfling.
Just
Redo
picturing
the
him as a
whole
terrible
thing now.
halfling man.
His mental image of you is just naturally small.
Fuck, it's ruined.
No Sorrow Sworn.
Ruined.
Extremely depressed NPC. No. Free.
Not extremely.
Yeah, slightly depressed. PC takes
A
falling
little.
damage. No. DM describes massive creature obstruction distance. No. You haven't gone out to that far yet. High temporary rebrands
yet.
to the 3. No.
I
Morgan
actually
sucks
thought
fucks
about
a stealth
saying
roll.
that, and it didn't happen.
No.
No,
I mean-
because she chose to
Avoided
just
making
not
one.
do. Yeah.
That's true.
I'm
Nat
the
1.
Oh, there was a
yeah.
nat one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Goth.
SciFri.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's
Uh,
me.
Guest PC uses homebrew
Guest
species
PC.
subclass. No. Well, I mean, technically vampire, but we're not really. We're mostly using the damp here. Undead NPC. Yes. Roll
Yes.
initiative. Yes.
Yes.
Where's the bag of holding? Wasn't questioned. Collect Shadowfell indigenous plant life. No. Funny NPC accent. No. No, I guess the
Yes.
the old the undead dude. All right.
Dead dude was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
All right. Well, hey, no bingo.
Wow.
What's new?
Bullshit.
What else is new?
what's
No
new?
big deal.
We'll have a better bingo next week now they know who they get.
That's true.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I had to take a
Yeah,
broad shot.
More accurate
What to guess
bingo
at.
predictions next session for sure.
I'm
Um,
actually so excited for the next session. That was so fun. Oh
I'm
my
glad
gosh,
you
I've
had
been smiling
fun.
the whole time.
Thanks for
That was a
joining
blast.
us. We got them for the next couple of weeks. But before we do go, I'd like to do a little shout out for anyone who's watching the VOD and whatnot, and all people who might not know where to find you. So we'll go around OG's way so that they kind of get an idea.
You are gonna. All right, fine. Hi, I'm OLG. Sometimes I do stuff in places online. If you are interested in those kinds of things, go to those places, man. It's like
Kinds of things that
Twitch.
you didn't mention.
Sometimes
Yeah.
it's like
Maybe I started with the wrong
Twitter.
example.
Sometimes it's Blue Sky.
Oh,
It's just wherever I do stuff.
SciFri, where can people find you?
I do all sorts of things over at twitch.tv/SciFri, and basically everything branches out from there. So,
Good
you
stuff.
know.
And you run D&D yourself, right?
Yes, I'm currently in between campaigns though. I'm getting new groups together for the new year.
Sick.
Also, like, gonna be running some non-D&D TTRPGs. I'm hopefully getting a Lancer group together. Big robot,
yeah.
Oh,
big
Big
mech
mech guy.
RPG.
He's
So,
big mech
you
guy.
know,
Okay,
yeah.
nice. Candy.
Hi, my name's AiCandii. My channel is AiCandii. Which standard stuff, Bitchabon, we do a podcast, Bitchabanta. But my roommates, what?
I finally get your name. Fuck.
AiCandii?
just
Yeah,
got it
AiCandii.
now?
AiCandii, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Fuck.
Oh, dear.
But my roommate does on her channel, which is Cakelet, which is like cake and then ETTE. She does tabletop content, but I'm in a I think it's Daggerheart, but it's like a homebrew where basically it's an adventurer group
Fun.
that's like in a tavern, and then each like week we like do a little mission to get resources to build up our tavern. So it's
Oh,
like
that's cute.
kind of like
cute.
a
Kinda like Moonlighter.
yeah, it's
So cool.
yeah, that's very fun. So I also want to do more tabletop myself. So yeah, that's me.
Sweet. Tomorrow.
I'd sooner die than do an actual shout out when half of the original party isn't here to see it. So
That's
Okay.
fair. Actually, that's fair. I back that.
No, I wanted the
respect his
opposite.
ability to consistently find an excuse, no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
It is.
I had a big one, but then I realized it would break their fucking hearts. You know?
Bree would cry.
Okay.
You can't do that.
As
so
you can
funny.
probably tell, he never does it. Sam.
Fuck my shout out. Check out our guests.
That's fair. That's a fair shout.
Also,
He's so sweet and
But it's also
hot. Oh my gosh.
twitch.tv/strippin.
Yeah,
also
yeah.
hot. Crumpet.
I'm Crumpet, MurderCrumpet, Agiash. I've done a little bit of D&D before. I actually ran a campaign that's up on YouTube if people wanted to see my shitty DMing skills. SciFri was in it, actually. It was really fun. We were in the Feywild, which was so funny when you told me that it was the Shadowfell and the Feywild split. So I'm glad I got to do the other half. Very, very fun. I love D&D. I'm super happy to be a part of it. I just play VR chat all day. I'm like half VTuber, half IRL streamer. Don't check out my IRL content. It is the grossest, most disgusting stuff you could ever imagine. I'm like a goblin.
I think literally our last Discord DM before this today was the D&D thing you ran.
That's true. I was telling you to get your ass online to come play.
Yeah. It was 2 years ago, and then today when we get in the Discord call, you message me, "You're gay, you're gay, you're gay." Our first DM in 2 years.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, it's a callback.
Well,
I do about half and half V2. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
No. It's your time. It's your time.
Your shout out,
half
man.
VTuber, half IRL stuff, and then a bunch of VR chat in between. It's just talking to folks. So if you like that kind of thing and like some social interactions, that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for you three for joining us. We're looking forward to come back next week as well as we dive towards the vault. But thanks so much for joining and playing with us, and for everyone in the chat as well. Thank you very much for joining us. There is a Patreon if you're interested in seeing behind the scenes stuff, like all the GM notes and creatures we create, etc. But otherwise, we'll be back next week for the second episode of this guest star portion of it, and see what happens in the vault in the Shadowfell. So we'll see you all there. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for playing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.